Well, this has been quite a cluster, hasn't it? Made quite a few mistakes. I will apologise to all the people. Well, I apologise in advance. Turns out I was supposed to start at 9, but it turns out I forgot to record on both. Go live on both Streamlabs and YouTube. So what turns out that I was actually talking for 17 minutes and not actually airing stuff on YouTube, which was pretty embarrassing. And on top of that, I had my mic muted earlier, so yeah, I do apologise for all that. But fortunately now we can actually get started. Fortunately, it seems like not too many people were actually watching, so you know, I might do an edited abridged version of this and cut out all the silence and stuff and, you know, do this right. Kind of did the whole thumbnail thing in a rush. I kind of rushed this time to do the test, so yeah, as said, I do apologise to the fortunately, as said, I don't think anyone was really watching at this point, so but yeah, I've tweaked some features as well to hopefully make this much smoother than so yeah, I've learnt my lesson. Make sure you, when you're streaming, you got to stream from Streamlabs and YouTube, not just Streamlabs. So yep, mistakes happen, and learn from it, so be more prepared and note to self, maybe air it a bit later so I don't end up rushing through a lot of this stuff. But fortunately I've got everything ready now. I am recording my actual audio, and the background noise hopefully isn't too loud. So yeah, last time I did a Hearthstone, well, hopefully the delay, as you know, and talking to a microphone that's not even, you know, going live for 20 minutes has warmed up my voice, so I can talk more about, so I could get more comfortable talking like this, right into a mic. So what am I doing? Well, last time I did a Hearthstone video, because it was always online, and it wasn't a game I'm too fond of to stream, I thought maybe that's one of the reasons why the connection was bad. I've tweaked some features, I said, on Streamlabs, so hopefully this stream will run a bit more smoothly than the last one. And I've also previewing the video via my phone on mute, so I can see whether it's actually going well or not. And it appears that the video's not too bad. So yeah, waffle. Drinking a really big bottle. So what am I doing now? Well, I thought I'd go for something a bit more easygoing, something less intensive on my computer and online and that. So I'd figured we would do, well, I would do, and you're watching. You could take part though and like chat and stuff. So yeah, rough start, very unprofessional start, but you know, that's what these test streams are for. What am I doing? Well, I'm doing a TierMaker a collection of TierMaker tier list things. I've got a bunch of them on tab on my browser, and I'm going to yeah, rank the shit out of them. Ranging from food like this one here to all sorts of like pop culture stuff like Pokemon and Simpsons and stuff. So hopefully this should be a nice little way to vent out my ranting side of my being. And yeah, I know what you're thinking. Well, why don't you just start? Well, I'm just checking the microphone levels, and they don't seem too bad, maybe a tad bit quiet. I got the microphone right up to my face, and got the pop filter and the royalty-free music, because I don't want to get my ass sued by people saying, oh, you can't use that. And it seems to have maybe it's just a long pause between the next track, so it's a playlist, so hopefully I'll go to the next track in a moment. Yeah, as said, I kind of rushed this kind of one, so yeah, I might have to just pop in and out just to make sure that the audio is playing, because for some reason one or two dropped here and there. Yet again, how professional of me. Let's get back to the main screen, and yeah, it looks neat. I cropped the image, the website image, so that you can actually see all of it without any of the ads around it and all that bunch of bullshit. Alrighty, so let's keep going. Well, keep going. Let's actually get started, for crying out loud. Let's start with something pretty straightforward and easy. Ice cream flavors. This was originally in like a sort of more alphabetical order, but I had to shuffle all of them back in. So I know kind of where I'd put these already, some of them, but I refreshed it, so is more of a surprise now instead of having it already assigned. So yeah, because I've spent the first 20 minutes recording myself and not realising I'm actually not going live, so... Alright, without further ado, as most YouTubers have to say now, let's begin. But before we do, I will just say that, I will also, unlike, like, you know, Sniper Wolf, I will actually give credit to the people who made this whole thing possible, so, yeah, I'm not going to just take credit for creating these, because I didn't. I made some mild adjustments to them, the main one being just I've decided to change the text of these tiers, and in one of them, I think it's the Pokemon one, I've added another entry because it was missing for some reason. Probably just a bit outdated, but yeah, as I said, I'll give credit. So let's stop denying the inevitable and get going. First, we'll start with ice cream flavors. Pretty easy one. I love ice cream, and I'm sure you do too. Ice cream is a great dessert, and so many different flavors to choose from. So I've got quite a long list here. Yeah, the person who created this TierMaker tier list, credit goes to @deafening_zap. So thanks for creating this. I also appreciate you putting the names of the ice creams over the image so we can actually know what they are at a glance, because you know, at a glance it might not be as obvious. So thanks. Check him out on Twitter, sorry, X, formerly Twitter. For some reason they changed it, the name of the website to sound like a porn site. Not that I complain, I mean, porn sites are great, but you know, for social media sites, probably not the best word choice of letter rather than word. Alright, so let's start with cookies and cream. Nice sort of simple flavour, you know, it's got just the light cream and chocolate chips, I assume they are. Maybe these aren't brand specific though, these are just like these are not brand specific, these are just generic flavours. Although there may be a couple that are actual flavours, so like from Ben & Jerry's, for example, like the Chunky Monkey I think is one, Fish Food is one from Ben & Jerry's. It's the kind of flavours you wouldn't usually get. So cookies and cream I think goes to B. It's a nice flavour if you just want something light but with a bit of a chocolate hit. That's pretty cool. Dolce de leche? I never had it, so I can't say whether it's good or not. I assume that's something like a caramelly toffee flavour, but as said, I'm not too familiar with that one. French vanilla, which don't really know what the difference is between regular vanilla and French vanilla. Never had it. Don't worry, it's not just going to be never had. I've had quite a lot of ice cream flavours, so no worries about that. Cookie dough. Yeah, it's a very classic flavour. It's a flavour that is also pretty popular with like from Ben & Jerry's, meaning most of the cookie dough I've had is from Ben & Jerry's or the store brand stuff, so I think it's A. I'm tempted to put it on S, but A I think feels better because it can be a bit heavy with the thickness of the cookie chunks, and it's really a more oh fuck it, I'll treat myself kind of ice cream. So that's just why it barely misses the top tier. Very high tier though. Chocolate mocha. Just kidding, it's not it's actually chocolate and mocha, pretty good combination. One thing I will say though is that it's probably not as good as regular chocolate, in my opinion anyway, so I'll put it somewhere A. Below cookie dough, but still pretty nice. Brownie babes? Brownie... Well, I appreciate the text, but sometimes it is not very legible, illegible almost in some of these, like moose tracks, I guess that says. Or maybe I'm just not very... My eyesight's probably dying. So your brownie, well, it's brown. It's got to go tough. I put it, yeah, A, because brownie's mostly chocolate, isn't it? So that's going to be an instant hit with anyone really, unless you hate chocolate, of course. Green tea, I don't mind green tea, but I'm more of a coffee person. And the ice cream, I can imagine it's quite refreshing and has a herbal taste to it, so I'll put it in D though. If I would choose an ice cream, it wouldn't be green tea. Chipmunk singing in the background. That's at least it's royalty free. Chocolate and vanilla swirl. Nice combo actually. You got the sweetness of the chocolate and the lightness of the vanilla complementing each other. Well, contrasting rather, isn't it? So yeah, I'll put it in B. A little bit ahead of cookies and cream if it'll let me. Lemon sorbet. Sorbet, I like sorbets. It's definitely a nice summer dessert, but I think it's mainly the textures of them that kind of put me off a little bit. So lemon sorbet will go C. Maybe a bit too sharp, but I do like it. What the fuck is Blue Moon? That's what I was saying earlier, you know, that at the point where I wasn't even recording myself, so I'll just put that never had, but I imagine it's similar to birthday cake, which I might as well bring up because that was actually the first one I brought up when I was recording without actually streaming live on YouTube, so earlier. Birthday cake is gonna be, I'd say C. I prefer it over green tea. I will adjust these if I feel like they can go different places, so I will adjust them accordingly to, like, if, you know, let's put orange sorbet there as well, but I think it's a bit better than lemon sorbet, just because it's not as intense and sharp. That's the only real reason, really. Mango, quite a nice flavour, but in ice cream, not half bad. I'll put it in C. What does that say? Chocolate, mint chocolate chip. Oh, that's got to be an S. I think it's my dad's favourite, and it's one of my favourites too. You got the sweet little chocolate chips and just the mint to give it such a refreshing taste. Some could argue, well, that just tastes like mouthwash, but I don't know. I like mouthwash as well, not to drink, but just to rinse my mouth out. And who would want that in an ice cream? Jokes aside, yeah, mint choc chip, classic flavour, love it. Mini Oreo, is that it? Or mint Oreo? I mean, that's green ice cream, so I assume it's mint Oreo. Not as good as mint choc chip because it's Oreos, but I'd say A. Maybe I'll put it here because it's quite close to being choc chip, but not quite. I think the Oreo bits kind of make it worse in texture and that. Moose Tracks, never had it, so can't say. Neapolitan, get a great combination of chocolate, vanilla and strawberry, so nice refreshing flavour. Get 3 items in one really, so I think it's I wouldn't say it was I don't know. I think the reason is because you're only getting part of a good flavour instead of the whole thing, so, and sometimes you end up eating one first and then the worst one last, which leaves a bad taste. And even if you do it the other way around, you still got the lingering flavour of the one you probably don't like the most, so I'd say A though. I'd say, yeah, I'll put it in somewhere A, about here. I think it's a good spot. Alright, we might as well go through the classic flavours. Vanilla is... I'm tempted to put an S, but there's not really much going with on vanilla, but it's such a versatile flavour because you could have raspberries with it, strawberry, chocolate, caramel, toffee. Fuck it, let's put an S. It's a great flavour. Even if it's not complicated, sometimes it just doesn't need to be complicated. All you need really is just a simple flavour that's flexible and fun to eat, so yeah, S it is. Strawberry cheesecake is kind of like strawberry really, just with less intense strawberry flavour, and they tend to have like the biscuit bits in it. I do really like strawberry cheesecake, especially the Haagen-Dazs ones when they're on offer on the supermarket, so let's put it fuck it, let's put an S. I'm treating myself. Not to the ice cream itself, but just to the well, it's my tier list anyway, so created by someone else. So, alright, strawberry goes high A. Very nice, refreshing flavour, but I'd say I'll put it here. Rum raisin, yeah, F. Don't really like rum that much, and raisin, don't like raisins, so I'm kind of going randomly now. So toffee, A. I'll put it ahead of brownie if it'll let me. There you go. Red bean. Never had it, so can't say. Chocolate is definitely S. Ahead of vanilla. Might not be as versatile as vanilla, but damn, it's delicious. Especially combined with more chocolate or like caramel and that. Great. You know what? Fuck it. Let's bring mint chocolate chip back to bottom of S and put these. Might be a hot take, but whatever. Cake batter. Never had it, but I imagine it doesn't sound great. I mean, it's called batter for fuck's sake. Black cherry, nice. I'd say B though. Not as good as strawberry or like raspberry, but while we're at raspberry goes a bit ahead of black cherry. Chocolate chip, S. How would you make chocolate better? Put chips in it, simple. You don't really need more than that if you want a nice, luxurious tasting ice cream flavour. Butter pecan, F. I like butter. I don't like pecans though, and yeah. Coffee. Not the kind of thing I put in ice cream, but can be nice on occasion, so I'll put it at a high C. This is kind of like descending order as well. This is not just randomly putting it in C. It's like worst C, best C. Worst B, best B. I guess that's how it's usually done, but I just thought I'd clarify just in case. Let's see. Sorry if I appear snotty, it's because I've nearly got over my cold, but I'm still there because of the cold weather. Alrighty, what do we do next? Salted caramel, S. My all-time favourite flavour, except for raspberry ripple, which isn't even here, so it's a very close second. So I have to put it in S. I mean, it's logical, really. My favourite flavour, favourite on the list. So, what does that say? Is that pistachio or yeah, I think it says pistachio. Then it's F. I don't like pistachios. Rocky Road. That's the one with like marshmallows and biscuit bits, and I like the like cakes you get at the bakery, the Rocky Roads, but ice cream not as much. So I'll put it in B for now. Blueberry, good flavour. Put it ahead of black cherry. Cherry Garcia, I imagine it's the same, so I'll just put it behind black cherry. Peach, bit similar to like mango. It tastes like an off orange in ice cream. So which one should I put it in? Mango. Actually, I'll move birthday cake down. I'll put it in D because it's not a flavour I'd pick compared to all the others. The others are more refreshing, while that one just tastes so artificial in comparison, really. So I'm not going to bother with that. I'm just consistently checking to make sure the volumes are okay, and they seem alright. So, and I'm looking at a preview on and it seems like it also is working. It's just fine. Yep, waffle. Almost done with this list though. Peanut butter, F. I don't like peanuts, but not a fan of peanut butter. So of course. What's that one say? Fish food. Oh, that's Ben & Jerry's. Never had it actually. But I've had like caramel and chocolate, and I've had similar flavours from Ben & Jerry's, so I'll put that in. I'll just play it safe and put in never had. Pineapple, ugh. And Chunky Monkey. And there we go. That's pretty much the tier list for ice cream, and I'm pretty comfortable with this arrangement. Gross. Not these though, they look delicious. Yep, salt caramel obvious. Most of the chocolate ones are there as well. Chocolate mocha, combined coffee, toffee. I'm tempted to put that at S actually. Now I'll just leave it as is. That's my tier list. So salt caramel obviously top. Very bottom is pineapple, because who came up with that idea? I don't see pineapple flavoured ice cream very often, so that's kind of a weird one to me. But yeah, that's pretty much ice cream, and quite a few hot takes there. Most of the peanut ones are there because I don't like peanuts, and more of the refreshing stuff's kind of in the middle, and really sweet stuff like strawberry cheesecake and salt caramels to the top. But sweet, but not, sickeningly manufactured sweet like birthday cake is. There's quite a few I haven't actually tried, and I don't think I'll be trying any of them anytime soon, because some of them look shite, like red bean, and I will admit though, Blue Moon does look intriguing, like the sort of cyan coloured ice cream. That's something different. Alright, let's go to the next one, and this one is for biscuits. Yeah, I'll just Yeah, just checking the list here, it's not as big as I thought it'd be, but still plenty to choose from and roundabout, so let's go in order, I think. Caramel bars. Not bad actually, quite a lot of wafer, not a lot of caramel in them, but quite, which is ironic because they're called caramel bars, but you know, there's very thin layers between each wafer and the chocolate's quite thin, quite rough and tough, but I think it's pretty good. See? These milk biscuits with the sort of picture of a cow usually or something like that, they're quite nice, quite sturdy chocolate with the sort of smaller biscuit at the base. I'd say they're about the same now. See, shortcake biscuits are delicious. They tend to crumble too much in tea for my liking and a bit fragile, so but they're really nice. I'll give them B. Bourbons are tougher and good for like dipping because they don't really break, so I'll put them B as well. Ooh, yikey, righty. I should really mute myself when I cough like a idiot. Blue ribbons. It's been a while since I've had those. Don't remember what they consist of, but I imagine it's similar to caramels, just without the caramel, so C as well. I think a lot of them will be in C for now, and then I'll adjust accordingly to like where I put the others. Club orange. Nice. I'll put it in A. The orange gives it sort of a zestiness that I think makes it much, you know, hit harder into the taste buds. Just bear me for a couple seconds, I just close that because I don't really need that anymore. Yeah, okay, so sorry about that, I apologise. We got the ice cream out of the way, haven't we? So let's get to the swing. There we go. Right, so we got these out of the way, so let's go with gingers. The ones with the sort of filling in them. Kind of like crunchier Oreos. I quite like them. Not bad dipping in tea, quite sturdy, quite nice. I'd say B. I'll put them ahead of these two actually if it will let me. Why? There we go. Got Tasties. Is that what they're called? Tasties? Toasties? Tasters? I think they look just like ice rings to me, which they're already there, so they must be something different. So I don't think I can put them anywhere because I don't think I've ever had them. Okay, we've got a few digestives, a bit tricky to see because they're kind of zoomed out, but I assume that's milk digestives are S. Regular digestives are A. And the dark ones are also A. Put them just below regular because digestives are classic, you know, delicious, sort of malty taste, nice texture. The only problem really is when you dip them in tea or coffee, they just kind of just go, you know, just kind of crumble, and you know, there's some of it's left in your tea and you're like, ugh, gross, come in, ugh. But the biscuits on their own are really delicious and quite versatile. That's why, you know, they're so high, considering there's not really much to them. The milk ones on the other hand are great. They pretty much improve on the regular digestive because they're reinforced by the chocolate layer on the top. You got plenty. It takes a while to, you know, lick the chocolate off, so you're just tempted to just bite it all and eat it all at once. And finally, the dark ones, not what's good. I don't know. They kind of the sharpness of the dark chocolate, it kind of ironically makes it worse. Milk is though a good balance of like creaminess and sort of oaty taste of the regular digestives. Fig rolls are alright. I wouldn't pick them out in a supermarket. Fig isn't a really delicious flavour to me. It kind of tastes like off, you know, stuff. So it tastes kind of off. At least, well, that's not the intention of it. It's not supposed to taste off, but it just kind of does. So fingers, thin biscuits with chocolate covered in, quite thick chocolate actually. So yeah, I'd say they're A. While we're at it, let's go with white fingers, which I don't know. The white just makes them feel much lighter and therefore just leaves this weird taste, like a milk taste in your mouth. So I'll put them B. I'm going to go randomly now because I can't be bothered to just go one by one. It looks like a long queue. and also allows me to just shortcut to ones that may be similar, like for example, we got Jaffa Cake, Hobnobs actually is good, Hobnobs. Regular Hobnobs, no it's dark isn't it? Regular Hobnobs, they're fine. I'll put them, I'm thinking B, because just like with digestives, they're not good, they're not the best on their own, but when you do like combine them with other things like chocolate, it just becomes great. And speaking of which, milk chocolate is S as well. I'm not sure whether they're better than milk digestives though. Maybe that's close, but I'm gonna put, I think the graininess leaves some sort of bits in your mouth, yeah. But still very close to being like top S. Similar to like the dark digestives though, I think the dark Hobnobs, I think we should follow the similar pattern. Rocky and Rocky Caramel, they're bunched together for some reason instead of separately, but I prefer the caramel ones a little bit more because the caramel gives it a bit more softness to it because they're quite sturdy biscuits, but regardless they're definitely better than, actually I'll put them just ahead of these because they're small simple snacks that are just nice to have, like if you're not wanting to stuff yourself silly. We've got shortbread, love it. Yeah, I love shortbread. Also another versatile type of biscuit. You know, combine it with caramel or toffee or choc chips or chocolate. So versatile, and I like that. Pink Panthers, or is that what they're called? The pink something, whoops. Pink something? There's not really much to them, really. They feel very light. So I'm gonna put them, I'd say D. The head of Fig so. Pink, at least the pink wafers are quite light, so you can have as many as you want and not feel like you're becoming morbidly obese like Fat Albert. Tea cakes. I do like marshmallow, but the melty stuff is nice as well, but yeah, I'm not sure. I'll put that somewhere C though. C. I do like good tea cake though, when I feel like it. Custard cream is S, I mean come on, it's S tier. Maybe not ahead of shortbread though, but ahead of Hobnob milk because yet again sturdy, the nice creamy filling, and also probably one of the few biscuits where you can go, wow, the pattern is the best part, like the sort of intricate sort of details of the top and bottom of the biscuit. That's quite a bit of detail, and it tastes delicious as well, and also quite versatile as well. You can have like orange filling if you want, you can have like strawberry, chocolate I think, so yeah, cool. Nice are nice. Sweet, you know, with the sugar scattered over it, but they also, like with digestives, they break apart easily, but I think I'd put those bad boys ahead of dark though. Jaffa cakes, are they biscuits? Well, they're called cakes, but I guess so. Do love Jaffa cakes though. Do love them a lot. And also another a product that comes in all sorts of flavors. You know, you can have the raspberry ones. I think they even did lime ones at one point. I think might have like for Halloween. So cool. Righty ho, penguins. I'd pick up one of those if I wanted to, which I can because I have money a little bit. Not too much though, so I can't really fill my whole house with them. So even my house, it's well, I'm waffling now. Yep, penguins are going. I'll put orange ahead of dark because the dark is good, but I'd still prefer milk, which is why I'll put the milk ones ahead. And Bourbons kind of taste a bit like dark chocolate to me, kind of like offish chocolate, so I'll stay there. You kind of wonder now, well, what about these? They're chocolate, shouldn't they go up as well? Not really, because you know, they do feel a little bit like, I don't know, they just don't have the richness and texture of the others, because they're smaller companies like Caramels, for example. They taste like they came straight from like 1970s still. I don't know, I'll adjust, I'll keep adjusting when I feel like it. Rainy Swirls are S as well. I'll put them, yeah, I think that looks about right because of the nice strawberry raspberry flavor filling, the sugar, powdered sugar on top, the soft texture, and they're just great to have like when you're having a friend around and you need to get something that tastes nice but not too expensive. Is that rich tea? Looks like rich tea. I don't think it's, I haven't put it. Actually, let's put rich tea a bit higher. Oh, I forgot to mention this tier list was created by @Liam Ribby on Twitter. Well, currently X. So yeah, sorry I forgot to mention that. Yeah, rich tea's kind of like a weaker, not as flavoursome, digestive to me, and they break apart instantly when you put them in like a tea or something. So I'll put those, but I still quite like them because they're quite nice and light. So I'll put them high B. Ginger nuts are just like the ginger crunches, just without the filling and a lot of sandwiches and they're wider. I prefer them a little bit more than rich teas, so I'll put them ahead of them in B tier. Not really a fan of these, so put them in the ones with the raisins or currants in them. Yeah, not really a fan of those. Viscounts are nice though, for the mint sort of filling and the dark chocolate. I think the only thing I'll complain about is that I think it's more of a item that you only really have in the evenings after like a nice meal, like to close things off. So, but I still really like them too. I'll put them. Actually, I'll bring the white fingers down to C. Wow, it's going to be full, very low, isn't it? Yeah, bottom C, I'd say. I think I'm going to sneeze. Crikey, Rally, that's a big sneeze, thank you. Oh, such a big sneeze, I cried. Oreos. Oreos are kind of... I'm not putting them in D right now, actually, I'll just leave them out here. Oreos are kind of one of those biscuits that gets sort of a polarizing reputation. Some love them, some hate them. I'm gonna put this one, You know what, I like these are just a regular Oreos though, aren't they? So you can't really just go, oh, how can you put that? They have double stuffed. I love the double stuffed, but this is just for the regular ones, and the regular ones I think are not as good as the double stuffed, and so I'm just gonna decide to put them in C, high C. I do like Oreos, but this is not just the double. This is not the double stuffed or even the strawberry ones. This is just for the regular ass ones. I do like the patterns on them on the sides, so they look really nice. Iced rings are fine, simple, quite sugary. In fact, it does sometimes taste like you're biting into just a wad of sugar sometimes. So, and it's obviously like made for younger audiences. So, I'm probably outgrown them like many decades ago. By the many, I mean like 1 or 2. So, but my nephew loves them. So, I'm sort of waving around C though, because they're alright if you need a nice sugar hit, so I'll put them in. This feels alright, I think. Jammy Dodgers though are S for me. They also come in cool flavours, like I think there's raspberry, there was orange one, I think there might have been a lime one at some point. And it's shortbread, isn't it? It's like shortcake or something, so I might actually put them a bit ahead because of the raspberry. I do like the raspberry flavour. Although it's quite a sturdy raspberry, isn't it? It's not like the one that's just got drips, you know. It's hardened. Maryland cookies. I'm not really a fan of hard cookies. I'm more of a soft cookie person, so that kind of lowers its tier rating for me. But it's still pretty high, I think. So let's see what we've got so far. I'll put that in high B though. I do like cookies. You can't really go too wrong with cookies. It's just the hard ones. I prefer the softer ones you get like in a bakery or something, but it's alright. Foxes, I think that's going to be similar to that, just a bit higher, so put it there. I haven't had it in a while, but I imagine it's almost identical, just different brand. That's what, I don't know what this is. At a glance it says Crinkle Crunch. It looks very similar to the Ginger Crunch one, so I'll just put them in the same place. Fox's melts are really nice actually. They've got the softish sort of shortcake taste, but smoother, and you know, not as hard. So yeah, I'd put those bad boys, or just the one bad boy or girl, could be a girl, or anything, or someone in between. The chocolate, I think, really gives it more of a, you know, flavour, more of a punch. So I'll put this one ahead of the dark chocolate. Fingers. Yep. 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 Actually, oh, you know, I was a bit high. Digestives have that sort of versatility that just really helps. So yeah, I'm going to do that. Just that. Wow, this one's taken a lot longer than I thought. Triple? Oh, I don't think I've had that one. These are nice. They're like kind of marbly texture to them, like the hard chocolate and the biscuit in the middle. Like a more grown-up version of ice rings, right? Just chocolate as well. So I'll put that pretty much. It feels wrong to not put this above digestives, but I'm just being honest. I do like them though. And finally, what are those? The picture's so small I can't really quite tell. Yeah, I can't quite tell what it is, so I'm just going to put never had. And what do you know? No Fs. Yeah, that's kind of a surprise because I made the F tier for this one just in case, but I don't think there's any that's actually disgusting or anything that I wouldn't like, so yeah, that's pretty impressive. Because in the previous one we've had pretty much quite a few Fs here, just mainly on the technicality that it's just mostly peanuts. I don't like peanuts. So yeah, that's kind of a nice little tier there. Chocolate digestives are king. Shame they didn't include the thin ones. I like the thin ones as well. Not as popular, but still pretty delicious, like sort of lighter alternative. Right, so that's the biscuit tier list done. It's making me hungry. So let's change it to something that will hopefully put off our appetites. Crisps. Joking aside, that's a lot of crisps. This is going to take a while. Fortunately, a lot of them are the same brand, so it's just a case of taste rather than texture for quite a few of these. Because a lot of them have the same texture as each other, so let's try and skim through these. So, ready salted hula hoops, B. Salt vinegar is better. Is there any more hula hoops? Well, all beef ones are better than salt and vinegar most of the time, so yeah. Rib knickknacks. I do like the texture of knickknacks, even though they can be harsh and bumpy. But the rib ones, I'm not a fan of the flavour really. It's a bit too odd for that kind of shape of crisp. Nice and spicy though is A for me. Should I put? Yeah, I love knickknacks. They're delicious. The spicy ones are a classic flavour. Can't quite say the same for a flavour which I think should be here. Yep, there we go. Scampi and lemon. Yeah, even worse than rib in my opinion. Which is kind of odd because I do like scampi, but in crisp flavour it just tastes strange to me. Let's go to Pringles then. A. I love the Texas barbecue flavour. Same goes for prawn cocktail. Paprika is nice, but not as nice, so I'll put it in B. Ready salted is good flavor. Can't even talk. They're pretty nice if you want something simple and just easier to digest and less intense in the mouth, but yeah, I'll put it ahead of knickknacks, but just behind the other more crazy flavors. Sour cream and onion also goes ahead of the ready salted. Rice crackers I don't think I've ever had actually. Salt and vinegar, kind of good sort of alternative to prawn cocktail if you can't find one. Never had this one. Beef Space Raiders. Cute crisp. The crisps with a crisp shaped like alien heads. That's kind of cute. Good cheap crisps. Probably not the most exciting, and even the flavour is not that bold. But I think they're okay. Spicy Doritos. Doritos are alright, but you know, I prefer pretty much any other crisp really, so let's put that B. Play it safe for now. Let's go for Monster Munch next. Pickled onion, nice. I do like how the crisps sort of melt in your mouth because they're made of maize and that, so easier to break down. But yeah, I'll put actually just ahead of hula hoops, most of them. Oh, we got cheesy Doritos. Meh, not too excited about those. Actually, I'll put it ahead of Space Raiders. We got oh yeah, I forgot the cheese and onions hula hoops, which probably the least impressive flavour of hula hoop, but still good. Ready salted Walkers, classic flavour. Gotta go up there because they're just nice, simple, delicious. What flavour is that? Beef and onion. Oh, that's good flavour. I'll put that there. Salt and vinegar, better than red salt in my opinion, just because of how much sharper and more interesting it is to the tongue. Baked Walkers though, I actually quite like them, but not as much, so put them behind the rest. Flame grilled McCoys though, S tier. I love this flavour. I love the rigid texture, allows all the flavour to just bump into like the gaps and that. Really delicious. I love them. I have them as much as I can because they're just that delicious. I meant by as much as I can, I mean like if I was having crisps, these are the ones I try to find and buy. I don't have them all the time, but when I do have them, I have crisps. These are the flavour to pick. Salt malt vinegar is a very close second though. We've got some nacho ones. I haven't had any of those, so we'll just put all of them over here. I haven't really had a lot of these Dorito kind of things really, so is there any more McCoys? Well, we'll just scan through. Oh yeah, we've got the spicy prawn. Is that spicy prawn? I think so. Sizzling prawn as it's called. I would say not the best McCoys, but certainly a good flavour if you want something sharper. I'm gonna drink some water in a bit, just so my throat can clear up. Prawn cocktail though, best Walker's flavour in my opinion, just great. Twiglets, I love Twiglets. I know a lot of people don't, and it reminds me of that TV show Spaced. Great show with Simon Pegg and Edgar Wright directing, and I think he wrote it as well. It's definitely a kind of crisp that you have to be in the mood for though. I would put that B ahead of Doritos. They're covered in yeast extract, aren't they? So Marmite taste, and I do like Marmite quite a lot. Cheese and onion baked Walkers, ahead of the salt and vinegar ones. I think they're just better with combining the texture. Guinness crisps, I don't really know what they're thinking with this one. Why? I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I think Guinness is okay. I don't drink anymore, but when I did drink Guinness it was alright. A bit like drinking liquid metal though, so I'm going to decide to put them D below the knickknacks. Beef and onion real crisps are nice. I do like a lot of the beef flavours of a lot of crisps, so I'm going to put that... I've got to put it in A somewhere, but where to put it? I think the problem is that I think they're a bit more expensive as well, especially the bigger bags, so I'll put them ahead of Hula Hoops, Monster Munch, Knick Knacks, but not ahead of Pringles. I do like a Pringle, more than one actually. Not the cans, I mean like the crisps. I may be a fat bastard, but not too fat. At least not too fat to die yet. And on a lighter note, barbecue kettles. Another barbecue flavour. I prefer the real one of kettles, so I'll put it there. The chip shop McCoys. These are interesting. Do they still even sell them? I know I bought them a few times, and I usually get the salt and vinegar one. The ready sold one though is also okay. I'll give that B. Actually, I'll put it ahead of Twiglets. And ahead of Hula Hoops actually, because they got that long sort of chip texture with the ridges on them, and that's kind of fun. Actually, with the Pringles, I'll put the paprika below salt and malt, but not ahead of sour cream. Actually, ahead of sour cream onion, but not below salt and vinegar actually. And move the ready solid above sour cream and onion. Actually, let's do this. There we go. That looks a bit better to me. My opinion. Smoky bacon Walkers. I do like the flavour. It's not one I'd have all the time. I prefer more of a beef and onion kind of guy. Jalapeno pepper reels. Never had them, so I can't really say. Same as salty dog. I don't think I've had frisps. Rice fusions, again, I haven't had those. Bacon wheat crunchies are quite nice. Just as his name implies, they are pretty crunchy and can leave some sort of bits in your mouth. But the flavour's not bad. It's not as intense of a bacon flavour, so I thought it was quite a deep bacon flavour, I think, from memory. I haven't had them in a while actually, so where should I put them? Hula hoops. No, not as good as hula hoops. I'll put them below Twiglets but ahead of Doritos. Actually no, I'll put them as C. I'd say they're below some of the major brands, but ahead of Space Raiders. Haven't had these, haven't had that one. Snaps, haven't had those in a while. Kind of the same wavelength as Space Raiders really. Kind of the sort of cheaper novelty crisps. Wasabi, I imagine it's terrible, but I've never had it. Same as Salty Dog, haven't had any Salty Dog. Salt and vinegar palm bears are nice. Made for children though, and I haven't had them in years. My nephew has them though, he has already sold ones. At least he did, I don't know if he still does. They're certainly the best of these novelty crisps, I'll put them there. Let's see. Rusters? Is that what they're called? They're alright, they're also quite cheap feeling crisps and that. But nice and light I think, so I'll put them in B. I'll put the Ready Solid in A. Actually I'll put all the hula hoops in B as well. They're not quite the same level as Walkers, in my opinion. I'll put the same with Monster Munch. Knickknacks I'll keep in A because I do love knickknacks. Salt and Shake. Nice gimmick, you put the salt in yourself by removing the sachet and shaking the bag. That's always kind of fun, but that's about it. The crisps themselves are just like Walkers really, so I'll just, similar to Walkers really, so I'll just put them somewhere in, I'll put them in high C actually, because as I said, the effort of getting it salted can be a bit, annoying. This is going to take a while, isn't it? Curry flavoured McCoy's chips are the best version of the McCoy's chips flavours, because it just is so appropriate, because they're based on good old fashioned UK fish and chips, and of course they had to have a curry chip shop curry flavour, so that's nice. Oh yeah, I forgot about cheddar and onion, my least favourite of the three of the McCoy's range, but still good. Salt and vinegar discos, I quite like these. I have them quite often actually. That's disgusting, isn't it? I probably should mute myself really, I apologise. Or just take a big break to blow my nose and, also have a drink. Not 100% quite yet. So I prefer them over hula hoops, but not as much as Monster Munch. Cheddar and onion, not as good, but still not bad. Max salt and vinegar, which is like Walker's equivalent of McCoy's. I do like them, but I think the ridges aren't big enough to really get the flavour that you want compared to McCoy's, so... Ooh, I didn't mean to do that. Let's go with... This is actually pretty tricky, because... Yeah, I'll put these there. No, I'll put them ahead of Discos, actually. I mean, it's Walker's was from that. I prefer the paprika over the salt and vinegar. Palm bears, that's... I can't get confused. Is that cheese and onion and salt and vinegar, or is it the other way around? Oh, who cares? They're both quite similar to me. The ready salt ones are nice. Sunbite chili is also pretty cool. Not, I thought you'd be healthier, but apparently not. So let's put this chili bad boy. I do like the texture though. It's got a sort of an earthy texture to it, and the ridges as well allows all the chili to get inside. So I don't know why I'm doing these accents. It's kind of cringe, isn't it? So where should I put these? I prefer them. Actually, let's put them in high C, because it's the kind of crisps that I don't quite have. I've had used to have them quite a lot, but now, yeah, there's better alternatives in terms of taste, not in healthiness. Even though I heard that Sunbites aren't very healthy, not as healthy as people think they are. Cheese and onion, put above beef and onion, but not above ready salted. No crisps. Snackerjack chili. The chili really actually makes these somewhat tolerable, so better than Doritos, better than Twiglets, better than quite a lot of these actually, but I think I'll put them here. Without that flavour though, the texture is just like biting into like sheet polystyrene or something, so. Salt and vinegar puff hula hoops. Not bad, but I prefer the harder texture of the regular ones, so I'll put them just below. Quavers. Not a huge fan of them to be honest, but I can't deny that they're good occasionally, so I'll put them in C. I do like cheese though, but I think it's the awkward shape and the texture that kind of puts me off a bit. I love these mix-ups. You get a bunch of all the good flavours like and kind of crisps like you got the French fries, you get the Monster Munch, you get the What's-Its. Speaking of which, What's-Its here, let's have a look. I think this should be. I will put it when we get there. But yeah, I love these crisps. I used to have more time, and I don't think they still do. I don't think they do them anymore, which is a shame. Or I can't seem to find them in my big shops. Oh yeah, I forgot beef Monster Munch, which is probably the. Yeah, nah, I think pickled onion is better. Wasabi Sensations, never had it. Never had Piper, that flavour Pipers. That was quite nice actually. I'll put that. Yeah, Sensations. They don't do those regular packs as often, but the big ones are nice. Sweet chili puffs though. Let's see. You'll put that below salt and vinegar ones. Actually, I'll move this over here. Yeah, that looks a bit better, I think, because I do like these ones. Speaking of which, I think I saw one here. Never mind. Cool, the ranch though. It's the weakest flavour of Dorito in my opinion. It's not one I'd like to pick very often. Piper's salt and vinegar is nice. Piper's pretty expensive though, and I think that's going to hold me back from putting it in S, but I think it's also going to be better than Pringles, I think, so yeah, let's put that here. Put it ahead of baked, actually. No. Yeah. So indecisive. Cheese and onion squares. I think they're B. Very high B, though. Well, high-ish B, actually, so let's put them below hula hoops. But ahead of puffs, I think. This is a not bad spot for me. I do like this flavour a lot. I'll put that in between the other discos. Kettle salted. Do we have a kettle ready? If so, we're going to put that ahead of the barbecue. Actually, below the barbecue. Tyrrell's prawn cocktail was nice. It's a better version of. It is, in my opinion, a better version of Kettle's crisps because they have a bit more thickness and just feel more flavourful. Kettle's black and peppercorn, I think it is. Nah, I think that's B actually. Yeah, not really a fan of these ones. I'll just put that in B. Gotta be in real mood for those. Frazzles are kind of like okay, kind of like a, you know, they do have the bacon rashers, and I think the store brand one's actually better. So, but they are certainly the best of the sort of small, cheaper crisps. Never had poppables. We got beef Monster Munch again. Oh, that was spicy actually. In that case, that goes in A. The pickled and the beef are good, but just not as good. Snaps, put that, but just below the spicy ones. So much, isn't there? Cheetos. I think it's just the cheese ones. It looks like. Do like Cheetos. Do quite a bit, but not as much as all the top tier ones, so I'll put this one quite high though. I'll put that. It's actually pretty tough. I know it's not important or anything, but you know, just don't want to trigger too many people. So I'll put that ahead of the Snacker Jacks, ahead of the Puffs, ahead of Squares, but not quite there. Oh, we've got a few French fries there. Salt and vinegar. Certainly the best of the sort of smaller, cheaper, lighter crisps. The worst flavour is the cheese and onion one, and the barbecue one's quite nice. And the red and salted is, I think it's the best flavour actually. Let's put in spicy. Balsamic vinegar kettles is probably the best out of these at the moment. I'll put barbecue below the others. Salt and vinegar quavers is an improvement, and same with prawn cocktail. Worcestershire sauce walkers are kind of, yeah, I prefer that over that, but not as much beef and onion. Ah, there we go. Salt and vinegar McCoy chips, second best actually flavour. Actually, no, I think actually the best of these flavours, in my opinion anyway. I'm trying to see what these are. Are these the twirls? It's the Tesco brand stuff, isn't it? Or just the salty sticks. They're alright, but the texture's kind of a bit hit or miss for me, so I'm going to put that... No, better than those, aren't they? I'll put them somewhere... Here, that sounds good. That feels kind of right. Skips, I do love skips. Bit soft and not very much in terms the flavour, I think, and I do like how they sort of fizzle out in your mouth, and kind of fun nostalgic memory of it, really. So I would say they go. No, not that. I'd say, yeah, that looks about right. Ooh, squeeze me. Yeah, squeeze me, because I need to get all that gas out of my system. Are those ready salted walkers? I thought we already had those. Or is that a different flavour? I'll just put them in the same area, I think. Or maybe they're like Pop-Toms or something, I don't know. Maybe there's duplicates. I do really like this flavour Pipers though. Probably think they're one of some of my favourite crisps ever actually. I'll put them... But there's Walkers we're talking about. The Walkers are classics, so... Yeah, I think I'll just put them there for now. Kettle's Thai chili. Where to put the others? I'll put these ones... bottom, I think. Pop chips, hot and spicy. No, that's barbecue, isn't it? I quite like these. They're nice and light if you want something to stuff your face with, but not, feel like you've ate an entire cow, so, or a entire wheelbarrow of potatoes. So, this is good. They're not C. I think they're B, quite comfortably in B. So let's put them just below the Monster Munch, but still very high. Salt and vinegar squares. Probably the best flavour squares actually, so that goes ahead of the cheese 91. Cessation chili. There it goes there, next to the other one. Chili Tyrrells. Tyrrells are, as said, a better version of, but not as good as the prawn cocktail flavour in my opinion. Chorizo, never had it, so can't really say. There haven't been any Fs yet, that surprised me. I'm pretty sure there would have been some that would have. Seabrook, I think that might be prawn cocktail chili. Who cares, it's Seabrook there, kind of like feel thin and cheap, so I'll put that here. I'll move the quavers up a bit because they're actually quite nice with the right flavour and the right feeling. As you can see, I'm not a huge fan of Doritos except for the chili ones, they're nice. And funnily enough, the Doritos come in the mix-ups, so mix-ups are just so good. No cheese and onion ones. They do the cheese and onion ones, and I think they do salt ones. I don't think they even do them anymore, so let's put some more that I haven't tried yet. So, lime and chili, no. Sea salt and cider vinegar Tyrrells. Yeah, they're great. Mini cheddars is going to be a weird one, because I have mixed feelings about this one. The original mini cheddars, I don't have a problem with them. It's one of those where you only have like 2 or 3 and then that's it really, so I think we've got to take that into account. C, they got to be ahead of these two. Probably not, yeah, ahead of Quavers. Not ahead of French fries though, I think that's not a bad spot. Transformer snack, kind of similar but with more you know, you can create your own cars with it. That's kind of cute, but I'll actually move that. Yeah. Golden Wonder crisps. These are the, I think they're cheese and onion. They're kind of weird. The green ones are blue flavor, and the blue flavor is the green one compared to like Walker's. So they kind of flipped it around. They're fine. They're the kind of crisps that are like they're just that really. They're just fine. I'd say they go here. What's It's are classic, nice soft cheesy maize crisps. I actually say A, maybe? Nah, I'd say this feels kind of right. Salt and vinegar puffs. This one's going to be a tricky one, because I think the light, soft, salted texture actually helps the flavours. I'll put it ahead of salt and vinegar ones then. Salt and vinegar Snacker Jacks are better than the spicy ones in my opinion, so I'll put these ones. Where did I put the regular Snacker Jack ones? The other Snacker Jack ones rather. I couldn't put it that high, could I? I did mention who made this original, didn't I? So yeah, don't have to worry about that really. Yeah, there we go. Found it. Chipsticks are fine. As I said, sort of a poor man's version of these ones really. So I'll put it actually just below it. I don't really recognise a lot of these flavours really, so I might just do a few more and then just stop. So I say they're about the same really. I think it's just sort of the texture, the kind of yeah. Would it be mature cheddar and onion? Tyrrells are not probably the least impressive flavour of the bunch. I'll put it here. Crinkly, the cheddar things. I'll put these bad boys. I can't remember what flavour that is. I think it might be barbecue or something. It looks like a barbecue flavour. Not looking matters really. I think it's about the same as the minis, really, just the wobbly texture. Oh, but the salt vinegar ones are better. I don't think I've had these Ritz. Veg crisps, not particularly a fan of these. These are the ones that are made of like beetroot and sweet potato. Not really a fan, so I'll put it D. These ones are the Snacker Jacks as well, so I might as well put them together. I think that's chili. I think it's barbecue. Nah, I think the chili gives it much more of a kick and a flavour to it, so I'll do that. Don't think I've had these ones either. Not these ones. Not that one. Basically all the stuff that you probably get from like one of those stores that sells like stuff from China and Japan and stuff. I haven't had any of these. I think that's a pepper pop chips. Yeah, we're starting to really get hungry now. Better not, because it's like nearly 10:30 where I'm at, so better not have a snack at the moment. Don't want to feel like shite. Where did I put the other pop chips? I swear I had them. There they are. Barbecue. Yeah, it's better. It's worse than barbecue, but still pretty high. Didn't know I haven't had those. I've had regular Ritz, which I don't think are here. Pom Bar, again. I think it's prawn cocktail. Doesn't quite work for me. Fish and chips, malt vinegar, like the small little fish and chips. That's kind of cute and nice and C, but ahead of the others actually, quite a bit better than the others actually. Doritos, they're alright. C. We got also a mature cheddar and onion kettle. Didn't we have these already? No, we didn't. We've had the Tyrrells. Least favourite of the bunch, I think, so I'll put that below. It's a bit too sort of cheesy and earthy tasting to me. Salt and I think that's salt and vinegar pop chips, which will go, I'd say here. No, actually ahead of barbecue. I prefer it over barbecue. Not sure what they are. Salt and vinegar crinkly. It's better than the usual crinklies, the other crinklies, so I'll just do that. Seabrook, fine as well. It's the kind of crisps that are kind of like, you know, they're not bad, they're just not as good as the other flavours. We'll just do that then. we'll just make a quick check as well on something else. Alrighty. Righty ho. Rice fusions, haven't had them. There's quite a lot I haven't had actually. I just stick to the popular flavours. You know what? I'm feeling generous. I'm going to put all the Walkers up in S because they're such a classic crisps and absolutely delicious. I'm feeling this. Christmas is already passed and I'm already feeling like Santa Claus given all these S spots. But yeah, the others though I think finer A, B, quite a lot in C. Only a handful in D, which I don't really like, and F, nothing that I absolutely detest because I do like crisps. Put a few more that I haven't had here. I think that's salt, cheese and onion. It's kind of hard because some flavors, green packet is salt and vinegar, sometimes it's cheese and onion, and other brands it's kind of weird. I'll put these here. Poppables, don't really care much for them. In fact, I can't even remember if I've had them ever before, so... But they're Walkers, so they kind of instantly have to go above C, I think, so I'll put them... No, but I think they're better as squares. Snacker Jack, again. Anything other than salt and vinegar or chili is kind of meh, but not bad. Not bad at all. So already it's high standard with that flavour. That is crispy bacon. Not bad flavour for kettles, but yeah, I'd rather have any of the other flavours. I don't think we had salt. Oh, we had, yeah, it's there. So yeah, that feels right. We got this one, which is like black and peppercorn flavour, real. This mini one is somewhere. Put it here. I think that's chili as well, so we'll put that ahead of that, but not ahead of beef and onion. I haven't had that one, and not sure what that flavour is. I don't think I've had it. And this one is bacon, I think, which goes here. Yeah, that feels right. And here we go, another sort of surprise tier list where I haven't put anything in F. I put there an F there just in case there was some that I looked at and went, oh fucking shit, that's awful. But no, I like all these crisps in some way. Guinness though, I don't know what I'm thinking. I'm surprised there's not a Marmite crisps in this list, probably because it's not popular enough to have it, so... So yeah, that's pretty much the crisp tier list. I'm going to have a drink on my Wasser, excuse me. Ooh, that's good water. That's good H2O. I almost spilled it all over my stuff. Yeah. Alright, so that's 2 done. Or was it 3? Oh no, it's 3, isn't it? 3. Hopefully we get something that doesn't involve food, because then I don't have to, you know, think about, eating, because I'm getting hungry. So let's go for something that's less edible. Let's go for Pokemon. Well, actually, I guess you could technically eat Pokemon. I mean, some Pokemon eat other Pokemon, so whatever. This is about the game. So there's a. So yeah, there's a bunch of them from Gen 1 all the way up to Gen 9. I had to add another one somewhere. I think I did. If not, I apologise. I'll have to quickly add one in there. I swear I added one here earlier. I guess not. But if you just bear me a second, I'll just add it right now actually. Just save time having to go back and forth. Be right back. There we go. We got the game that we were missing in this one, and this one, what we were missing was the newest game, Scarlet and Violet, as of this video anyway. So righty, let's get straight to it. It doesn't seem like it's in any real particular order, so yeah, we're gonna have to just sort of go mix and match and go all around and that. So let's do just that. So first off, let's go with the 2 games, Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. A lot of these games, in fact, it seems like they just doubled the entries, even though quite a few of the entries are well, let me reword that. A lot of the games have their own sort of alternate counterpart, so we'll be most likely budget them together in the same area. So yeah, let's get Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. These are some pretty good remakes, actually. Darn good remakes. I've only played Alpha Sapphire though, but I assume Omega Ruby is practically the same, just with a plot around Team Magma instead of Team Aqua. So I'll put these in A, actually. Maybe, yeah, let's do that for now. I put Alpha Sapphire because that's the one I played, and I prefer Kyogre over Groudon as well, and Team Aqua as well, being more, rebellious group, whilst Magma's more calculated. I prefer that. Shame there was no Emerald, but at least we got the Delta episode in those. Black 2 is an instant S. I love this game. It's so much content, so much stuff to do. Improved on Black and White in pretty much every single way. While we're at it, let's put Pokemon White in there. The only reason I put White behind Black is because I've played Black 2, not White 2. Just like with the previous example though, it seems like they're pretty much just the same game, really, just with a slight different aesthetic and what have you. So righty, we're going to go to Black and White now. Both also good games, but it makes them redundant now that there are Black 2 and White 2 now, so that's the only reason why they're also, as said, they're redundant. I do like the plot of these games, and they have some really cool mechanics in that, but Black 2 and White 2 just did so much more that they are just 2 tiers higher in my opinion. Blue is D, same goes for Red. I haven't played too much of these, but I played enough to know that these are very archaic and old and outdated, so yeah, these two are not aged very well, have they? So put them in D for now. They might actually go to F maybe, but I don't know actually. It might actually go up to C, who knows? We will soon. Crystal. I've never played it. But I have played Gold. It's such an innovative entry in the franchise. Day and night cycles, better graphics, better sound, with the processing power of the Game Boy Color compared to the Game Boy. Breeding, shinies, bug catching contest, not 1 but 2 regions to explore. So yeah, no surprise that they are an A tier. Not as good as the newer entries like these two, but they've done so much to the franchise and are still really good games to play, even though they still have some faults, just like with Blue and Red. So Diamond and Pearl, they're okay. I put Diamond ahead of Pearl because I played Diamond not Pearl, but they're, as I've said before, a lot of these games had a second game to sort of partner with it. The combat felt very slow. I do appreciate the improvement graphics, and they did introduce the GTS, which is awesome, until they closed it down with with the Wi-Fi servers and the DS closing down. So, but overall these are okay entries, but certainly ones that didn't really do much for the franchise in terms of innovation, like in combat and the story. It felt kind of stale, the story, really, and not as memorable. The legendaries are cool though, Dialga and Palkia though. Emerald is an S. It's an amazing game. So much content, does so much to sort of tie Ruby and Sapphire in a nice little package. Battle, Frontier, animations, at least more of them, and just felt like a more complete sort of rounded story. While we're at, let's put Ruby and Sapphire in A. They introduced double battles as well. No day and night cycle though this time. The first ever double battle gym leaders, which was a little bit annoying, but still not too difficult to get around. Fire Red, Leaf Green are kind of similar in that regard, because they're made with the same engine as Ruby and Sapphire, but they fixed most of the problems of the older games with the fast and quick paced combat of the 3rd gen games, as well as just general improvements to the presentation helped remove some of the glitches in that. So yeah, I'd say they're A as well. Heart Gold, Soul Silver, S. They have a bit of much slower combat compared to like some of the 3rd gen games and 5th gen games, but Just being able to play like Gold and Silver with much better graphics and better improvements to the combat and the navigation and the story. Shame there was no crystal though. That would be cool. I haven't played these, but I heard they're kind of like Pokemon Go, just sort of port, as well as being sort of enhanced ports of, I think they're actually sequels to Red and Blue. If I had to pick though, I think Eevee would probably be better than Pikachu, because I'm more of an Eevee guy than a Pikachu person, so yeah. Moon and Sun. Good games. They changed up formula by adding these Pokemon ride features, meaning you no longer have to use HMs to travel, which is nice and convenient. Really pushing the 3DS to the limits in terms of graphics and presentation. I really like these games. I spent quite a lot in there, whilst also retaining a lot of things that make Pokemon good, so yeah, really good games. Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon though are better though. I put Ultra Moon and Son of Ultra Sun because that's the one I played, Ultra Moon. Yeah, they pretty much did the same thing, just more quality of life improvements, added new forms, new Ultra Beasts, some new minigames, more ways to obtain more different Pokemon. The warp hole things is cool, allowing you to obtain all sorts of legendary Pokemon from around like the history of the franchise. Just better in every way, right? That's why they have to be a tier above. Platinum is basically a better version of... I've yet to play it though. I bought it a while ago, but I imagine they're much better than these two. X and Y. This was tough because they innovated by being the first handheld Pokemon games in the mainline series to be in 3D, with 3D animations and renders and explorable world. But I'm going to be honest, I still prefer some of the others, so I put X and Y here. They felt quite bare bones because of the lack of content, because they focused primarily on making the first 3D Pokemon game, so that was pretty time consuming. But there was not much to do. A lot of the characters were pretty forgettable and pretty bog standard story of, you know, evil team causing havoc. I don't really remember much from Team Flare anyway, so... Pokemon Yellow is better than Blue and Red because of the less glitches and better presentation. And of course, walking Pikachu walking around. Forgot to mention this tier list was created by @random1 Internet G. Well, Internet G, but the I is and 1 instead of an I, so thanks. Final 3. Haven't played them. Don't intend to because they look buggy as all hell. Same goes for Scarlet and Violet. If I did play them, I imagine they'd either be a D or an F because they just look unfinished and awkward. Yeah, I'm starting to see no reason why to have an F tier really, because none of them are really going there, because all the games offer something cool, like the innovators. You got those that are not bad, just kind of slow and lacking content, one or the other or both. And we also got the black and white, and these ones, a lot of the ones that are good are the ones that have much fast-paced combat, have a lot of content, and are just overall really good, so yeah. Let's close some of the other ones to save some power. So yeah, that's the Pokemon. Yeah, missed a few, but let's just say hypothetically, you know, I played all of them. Where would I put them? I would put this ahead of that. I don't really know. I'd probably put them in C. Platinum would go ahead of probably even an A, from what I've seen and heard and experienced with Platinum, which I haven't. It's kind of a weird thing to say. I'd put these two in F and this one D, because of just how buggy and the launch and stuff. Yeah, that's hypothetically, but since that's not the case, I will put them back to where they rightfully belong, which is never played. It would be dishonest of me to put them in a spot even though I've never played them. Right, let's go for another pretty long one. I probably won't go through all the characters, only the ones I'm familiar with, so hopefully it won't take too long compared to like how overwhelming it looks. This is a power level tier list, which was created by @Galvanut Galvano 2. So yeah, thanks. I haven't really done much changes, just tweaks to this the tiers there. Let's go power levels then. Let's go with the obvious ones. Champa is S. Same with Beerus. Pretty much all the gods are S. The gods of destruction have got to be an S. Babidi is probably F. Not very strong. More of a controller and a manipulator than anything. Same goes for Apul. He's only ahead of Babidi because of he frees a soldier and he can fly, and you know they actually had some sort of involvement in the story, so they probably have more, you know. And in the games he's one of the weakest fighters, but at least he's probably stronger than Babidi, I know. Kui's probably better than Apul. Dende's not much of a fighter, but at least he can heal, so there's just a bit of power there. Bardock is that's tough because he could transform into like Super Saiyan, right? In the like fanfic stuff though, so I'll put him in C for now. He might go up though. Android 18 is pretty strong. Tournament power, she's probably stronger there. He did with I better not spoil it. Never mind, I wouldn't spoil it. I nearly did, whoops. But let's just say I'll put him ahead of that for the reason that, you know, with the spoiler. Banan, he was hardly in it really, so not as good as Kui, but not as better than Apple at least. Evil Boo, it's got to be stronger than the androids because, you know, as the series progressed, they were going to get strong anyway, just regardless. So, yeah, I probably won't do all the tier lists, in one go because, as I said, there's quite a lot here going on. Let's get Frieza. He's pretty first form. There's quite a few forms. Well, it's going to ramp up anyway, so I put C, B. Well, it's going to be. This is most logical, really, isn't it? Because, you know, as he transforms, he's going to get stronger and stronger. Frost, though, probably about the same as Frieza, maybe just from an alternative universe. Goku Ultra Instinct's somewhere S, maybe, or maybe even A. Goku Black, untransformed, and then his Scythe form, and then his Rose form. Somewhere around there. Some of it is interchangeable, I think. Like those two forms. I didn't even know there are two forms, separate forms. Wotamo is C, I think. Maybe even D, actually, ahead of Dende. Broly Super Saiyan, really strong. I don't know, he might actually be stronger than Boo. I think there's one of the games where they said he was actually stronger than Boo, or as strong as Boo, so ahead of Evil Boo then. I haven't watched Dragon Ball. I've watched Super, Z and GT, just not the originals, so there might be some I'll skip. I'll skip most of the Dragon Ball ones in that case. Chaozu, Frieza Saga didn't really do anything, so I'll put him in. He's better than those. He's better than them, so let's put D. Versus Nappa, maybe a bit stronger. Because I imagine in Heaven he did a bit of training, but didn't really have time to show it or anything. Gregory's F, certainly. Grand Priest has got to be all the way up there, isn't he? So let's put him in A, in S. He's above all the gods. Regular Broly, I don't know. He did fight a little bit, didn't he, in the movie, but I don't really know. It's the same character anyway, let's do that. Yeah, let's Cell Junior's probably about here, I'd say. Gohan Great Ape. The power creep is insane, so it's probably somewhere around. He is wild and destructive, but this is like early Saiyan saga, so I'd say at least C. Yeah, Chaozu 22nd Budokai. I don't know because I haven't watched that arc. King Yem is a god of, like, you know, well, not a god. He's like just like the person who guides people in heaven, so when they go to heaven or hell. So he's got quite a bit of power there. So I'd say he's not as strong as some of these, but nah, that doesn't feel right. Put him there. I'll just put him about here, I'd say. We haven't really seen him fight or anything, so we can't really say. Gowasu is kind of like the Supreme Kai of another universe, so he's got to be there. Fortunately, it seems like they've organised the alphabetical order. Popo and Popo. I haven't really seen him fight, but he did train the others in like the Sane Saga, didn't he? And he's got to be above those, surely. Actually, I'll put him high D then. Maybe it could be higher, perhaps. Higher than Grade O, actually. Let's see. Drum, I don't know. Dodoria is kind of D, maybe. Gave the Saiyans a bit of trouble. And like Krillin and Gohan and that, but still. One of Frieza's henchmen. He's a strong... I'll put Dende behind there, actually. And Ginyu there. Because he's the strongest of the bunch, of course. It makes sense to put him ahead of, one of his colleagues, weaker colleagues. Let's see. Let's go for Imperfect Cell. Because he's got DNA of Frieza now, it makes more sense. It makes sense to put him above those. Cybermen could go, about there, I'd say. They at least managed to kill Yamcha and stuff, and could be pretty. Actually, I'll probably go just here, actually, because I imagine the henchmen are more capable of fighting. Goldo is probably one of the weaker members of Ginyu, so I'll put it there. King Kai's a god, so he can some sort of deity rather, so he can go, I'd say here. Goten versus Trunks is kind of power level, power creep and such, so he's probably going to be here. Jiren's got to be somewhere in S, I think, because some say he's almost as strong, if not stronger, than a god of destruction, so we'll at least put him here. Actually, let's put them side by side. Infinite Zamasu, he was just really a fog, really, so it's kind of hard to say. He is a Goku Black, really, so a sort of a version of him without the body. Gas, I don't know, because I haven't caught up with Super either, like in the manga, so I don't really know. Beerus manga, I haven't read the manga, but I imagine they're about the same, so I'll put them there. Kami, not really much of a fighter, but he's a god of Earth, so at least he was until he died. Spoilers. So I'll put him ahead of most of these, but not ahead of the. He can't be stronger than Broly though, surely. No, I'd say he's about here then. I'll put Grey Ape actually here because these could be a dangerous big force if we're not careful. Let's see. Goku Grey Ape, don't know. General Tao, don't know. Baba, don't know. I've seen her in like Z, but not in like when she originated in the original. Jacko. It's not really that strong, but he's certainly committed to protecting peace and that, so no, not ahead of Frieza, certainly not. Goku versus Moro, don't know. That's like a Susanoo thing or something. Kale, not until she goes berserk and transforms in her usual form. No, not much of a threat. Vegeta Blue manga. Vegito Blue manga rather. Vegito Blue is pretty strong and is able to sort of at least handle some of Goku Black's maneuvers. He didn't defeat him, so I think that's why he puts it lower. Gogeta Base didn't really hang around for long in the Super Broly movie, so I'd say that's actually pretty tricky. Got to be somewhere around here, I'm pretty sure. Here, Goku. Go in sequential order because he's probably mastered it a bit better. Gohan versus Nappa. This was before like the whole Namek saga, so logically he would go somewhere here. In behind the Ginyu Force. Cyborg Tao, I think he appeared in Z, but I didn't watch that part. I only watched the Kai version of that show. Majin Buu versus Beerus versus Kid Buu versus Dabura. That's pretty tough actually, because this Majin Buu was one that still had evil in him, and then the evil left him when he fighted Kid Buu and Beerus. So I'd say he's slightly stronger versus Dabura than I don't know actually. Is he strong as Broly? Probably like he ate God and stuff, so. And then I'll put him maybe a bit lower than Broly. Stronger than Evil Buu though. Let's do the same here. Yeah, Buu hasn't really had much of a chance to show what he's made of really anymore, has he? Hero? Don't know who that is. Hit is gave Goku a bit of a run of his money at the Universe 6 versus 7 part of Super. Not as strong as these guys, but I'd imagine better than androids. Bit better here. Don't know how much of a difference there was between Hit in there and here and there. So many versions of Goku it's going to take for a lifetime. Korin, don't know. Let's see, how many Gokus are there? Jeez. Base tournament has got to be better than Buu, so Blue has got to be up there somewhere. Not ahead of Gogeta though. Gohan, Guru Boost. Actually I might be here, perhaps. Frieza Saga will go below though before his tap potential. Untapped potential. Mori, I don't know, he didn't really fight. I'd say F actually. Manwolf, don't know. Master does something, don't know. Don't know. Moro, so I can't say. I assume he's really powerful. Mr. Satan, pretty weak, but he's been very heroic, but even so he's still pretty weak, so I think as a human he'll probably get actually ahead of Babidi. Not as good as a Cyberman now, I don't think. So many Tiens. I don't know how strong Tien was in the during Dragon Ball, so let's just go with Tien during the sort of the Z and Super era. Versus Ginyu Force. Did he? Oh yeah, because he was in heaven and they arrived when they died, so he's got to be better than them then, surely. Tambourine, don't know. Let's go back to Tien then, actually. Kind of hard to say because, yeah, again, Tien didn't really do much, but I assume he's improved. Not as strong as Frieza though, so where did Tien go? There he is. Tournament of Power. Again, hard to say. I assume he's slightly better than he was before. Pycon. This was during the Buu saga, wasn't it? Or like the Genoma movie, so it's not base tournament power, that he's gotten a lot stronger, Goku there, so it really depends on Goku as well, so better than Tien, better than Popo, Kami. I'd say just below Frieza maybe, I don't know. Pirate Robot, don't know. Garlic Jr. probably the strongest of the F tier perhaps. I'll put Dende actually down below Mori, because even though he can heal, he doesn't really have a high power, he's not aggressive or strong, so Garlic Jr. goes ahead of time to just go here. G-Ren Hidden Power goes ahead obviously of regular G-Ren. Gibito didn't really fight that much, so it's kind of hard to say, but he's like a assistant to the Supreme Kai, so he's got to be somewhere around the gods. I'd put him below Gowasu then, in that case. Whis is got to be really high, I'm not there, about here. Above all the other gods of destruction. Zeno is God, so of course he's S. Makes too much sense. Okay, we got Magetta. I would say he's stronger than Potamo. Who cares about Potamo? Chi-Chi, stronger than Satan, but not strong as Cyberman, I think. Or could be wrong in that, though. I haven't seen too much of Chi-Chi. Supreme Kai West. I'd say... Since Goasu's story arc takes place in the future, it's understandable that Supreme Kai will probably learn more, be more practical, a bit more wise, learn more abilities. Zamasu, I'd say, is somewhere there at the moment. Bora, don't know. Beyond, don't know. Bacterion, don't know. Android 16, really powerful, sort of aggressive type, but I think the other's agility makes them better. Actually, will Android 16 be better than Frieza? I don't know. Well, this was much few years, earlier, so they might have got enough research to make the androids even better. Fused Zamasu, though, I think is up there as well. In A. Android 8, I don't know. Colonel Silver, don't know. Symbol, don't know. This guy, don't know. I'm just kind of going through all the stuff I don't really know. Either because I haven't caught up with Silver, or I haven't watched Dragon Ball, original Dragon Ball, so... I think he was in like the Other World Tour, but I don't really know, I haven't seen him. As I said, I've only watched Kai. These three wolves. I don't know why I put actually, I'll put Kim Youngma down a bit lower than these. Because he was like only really popular in Saiyan Saga, really. So I'll put him somewhere above Kami, actually. That feels more right. Perfect Cell's got to be better than Frieza because he has Frieza's part of Frieza's DNA, so that goes here. King Piccolo, I don't know. King Piccolo Prime, don't know. Piccolo Jr., don't know. Piccolo Jr. Torrent Power, though. Quite a lot of the characters in Torrent Power didn't really have too much of an impact on things, really, so... Maybe? Or, I don't know, Hit's time powers could be pretty strong in a way, so... Sorbet... I'd say he's a bit like Babidi. I'll put this guy actually next to Gregory. Let's see, what else? Octopapa, don't know. Nappa has been power crept to Buggery. So he's better. He's not F tier certainly, but he's above Gohan in his fight against Nappa. Golden Frieza versus Goku. It's got to be above most of these, I think. So it's got to be an A. Yeah, I'd say there, maybe. Toppo, pretty strong. So much that he's a god of destruction. Well, it's going to be a god of destruction. In fact, there it is, god of destruction, which has got to be not as good as these Gohan and Jiren, but I guess somewhere about they are gods. So I'd say about here. That feels kind of right. Where to put Toppo? Regular Toppo, though, I'd say B. Because he doesn't really pump up until that period, so... let's see. There's so many more characters. Yajirobe Saiyan Saga has got to be close to... sort of human strength, I think. He did a couple things in Saiyan and I just kind of legged it. I mean... because he was just one-shot by Android 17 and 18, really, wasn't he? Vegeta versus Broly in the Super movie. Blink and you miss it, really, so I can't really say definitively, but not for a few seconds anyway. Crikey, righty. I'm not putting him in B though. I'm putting about A, I think. Sounds right. Because it is Super Saiyan God, isn't it? And on that note, let's put Goku just ahead of that. Super Buu ahead of Majin Buu Debora, but below Kid Buu. Sui? Who the heck's Sui? Just gonna put him somewhere there. Feels about right. Roshi Tournament Power. Strongest human probably, so no, not in F, that's for sure. I'd say maybe here. I'm feeling C there. Android 17 Tournament Power has got to be better than regular Android 17 from the Android saga. Nail. He's got his ass whooped by Frieza, so he's not. So yeah, he's got to be there then, I think. No, Pycon's better than. It's got to be, I'd say about here maybe. Bardock got his ass whooped by first form, so it makes sense that he's behind. And yeah, I think that's appropriate. So what have we got next? Spirit Bomb Tournament Power. This has got to be somewhere around maybe B as well, just ahead of regular Tournament Power Goku. Dispo. And speed a bit higher. Goku First Appearance, don't know. Base Super Saiyan. Ahead of Nappa, but not ahead of the Ginyu Force, so. And Vegeta versus third form Frieza, it's got to be weaker than. About here, I'd say about here actually. Even though he died from like final form Frieza and the Frieza saga, I still think he had a tough time with first form. So much so that he was actually scared. Versus Sarbon would be weaker. Versus Raccoon. That was slightly stronger then. Sheen is a god and, you know, so ahead of Kibito. Yajirobe from Dragon Ball, don't know. Zarbon, certainly one of Ginyu's and Frieza's strongest henchmen, so I'll switch them around, so sorry, I'm just moving Gohan just behind the base form Goku. Yeah, maybe the Guru boost should go a bit ahead, I think, to be alongside here. That might be a bit more appropriate, I think. Zarbon transform those above regular Zarbon. Goku Namek Spirit Bomb. It didn't defeat final form Frieza, so it makes sense that it goes here, just below final form. Videl is human, but stronger than her dad, so let's put her. And she could fly. I think she could shoot an energy ball or two, so certainly one of the stronger humans. Let's put her. Yeah, that feels kind of right actually. Better than those. She's certainly got the spirit to be that strong. Piccolo versus Nappa, not as strong as Nappa because he, you know, died. So, and he survived. No, I would say there. Actually, Piccolo's still stronger than Gohan. Overall, Super Buu, Gohan absorbed. Stronger, yeah, that's feels very right. Supreme Kai North. I don't know how strong he's compared to the other Supreme Kais during the Buu Saga flashback, but I'd imagine it's about the same. Jace, one of the few to survive, so I'd say he's one of the higher powered Frieza henchmen. Ooh. Didn't really appear much in the end of Z, so I mean he's a rebirth of Buu, so he's got to be, and he had a sort of Well, they weren't really fighting seriously, were they, in the end, is he? So it's kind of hard to say still. What should we do then? He has a potential to be really strong, but I think back then he didn't really know what to do, so I'd put her behind Videl, but ahead of the others. Vegeta versus Zamasu. Couldn't probably defeat him then, and you know, it's quite evenly matched, so put him there. Her being as good as Tien. Kefla though is a fusion of both, so gotta be stronger. Let me think. It is base form though, so I'd say it's 2-bit, and it powers have increased exponentially, haven't they? So where did it go? Oh, there's no, that's not it. Yeah, Kefla base should go then somewhere around where the Boo Saga characters are. I don't know why I put Basil there. I'd say Basil's probably more like... No, it won't be stronger than... It's got to be somewhere here, I'd say. Let's move that here. Let's go with that. Bergamo... He fought Gohan, didn't he? Probably better than Basil. Kaba... Bit of a pacifist, doesn't really fight, so bottom of C. Super Saiyan though is probably a bit better. Goku versus Granola, don't know. Let's go through all the Gokus because there's a shit ton of them. Goku 23rd tournament, don't know. Gohan 2 times Kaioken. Better than Master Roshi, I think, and better than quite a few of them. But not as good as Popo, I don't think. We haven't really seen Popo in combat really, so it's kinda hard to say. Not much anyway. Goku, Grillip, Pilaf Saga, don't know. Let's see, Goku 3 times, gotta be obviously be stronger. Same with 4. 20 times. Let's put him actually, because he learned 20 times in Frieza Saga, and that's Super Saiyan. So, and Kaba's not very experienced with Saiyan, so. Goku Super Saiyan 3 versus Beerus, he got his ass kicked by Beerus, and he was God. So this seems quite appropriate, I think. Versus Kid Buu. Goku versus Frieza. He beat Frieza anyway, so he's got to go there. Might actually even be above a lot of these. Nah, if it wasn't for his heart condition, he probably wouldn't be able to beat any higher than Archer 19. It's more hypothetical, really, isn't it? Raditz, though. Yeah, that's kind of fitting. Vados, I've heard, is stronger than Whis, so give them the benefit of the doubt. Put her above Whis. Super Perfect Cell's obviously got to be stronger than Perfect Cell. Goku versus Pycon from SKK. Let's see, so probably better than Pycon. As I said, I'm not really 100% sure on that. Ultra Ego, don't know. Evolution. Let's see, where did I put Super Saiyan? I don't think I put Super... Ah, there it is, yeah, Super Saiyan Blue. Yeah, that sounds right. That looks right anyway. Supreme Kai South. Let's bunch him with the other Kais. Vegeta versus Super Buu. Let's put him here. Vegeta Great Ape. Gotta be stronger than regular Great Ape, but not by too much. Where do I even put Grey Apes? So many characters. Where do I let's put them though above a lot of the other characters. Yeah, there we go. Well, the Cell Juniors are a part of Cell, aren't they? They're Cell's kids, so of course they're going to inherit his powers and be stronger than Grey Apes, I think. Vegeta versus Jiren. It's about here, I'd say. Goku always seems to get ahead of Vegeta in terms of power. Trio of Danger. Well, because there's 3 characters instead of just 1, they've logically got to be better. I'm starting to think I should put Frieza. I'll put Frieza next to... No, actually, you know what? Let's not. Let's leave it there. Spopovich had only really one fight against Videl. Kicked her ass. And look at those muscles though. I mean, you a bit of shit on that better thing. So maybe here, I'd say, just on raw power alone. Kefla Super Saiyan 2. Where'd I put Kefla base? Somewhere. It's a combination of them, so it's got to be ahead of Broly and Kale. Yeah, let's get them ahead. Let's put them ahead. No, ahead of Super Saiyan 3, that's for sure. Super Boo. Maybe. That's a Full Sail Fusion as well. Yeah, I'd say that's about right. Dabura is Demon King, but Stone Spit. That's actually also kind of tricky because we haven't really seen what a lot of what he can do, but he's Demon King, so he's got to be pretty powerful. Not as powerful as Boo though, so he lost to Boo, so I'd say a bit further down. Below all the Boos really. Cauliflower Super Saiyan 2. Where did I put regular Cauliflower? Here. So it's got to be ahead of most of these really. I've got to start putting Super Saiyans so I get an idea of like, not stronger than that, not stronger than the Boos. Super Saiyan 2 was after Cell, wasn't it? So I'd say here. Let's go for Cauliflower Super Saiyan, which is slightly weaker, so go here. Future Trunks base. Future Trunks base. Let's see. This was during the Android saga, so still pretty capable though, you know, having the same blood and that, so he did defeat Frieza though, didn't he? So but not I'd say here. I think we're not below Super Saiyan, that's for sure. But then we get to Super Saiyan grade 2. And Future Trunks versus Demi Cell, is that what it says? Weaker than Goku Black, but Cell maybe a bit stronger than Cell. No, actually let's put him just below here. Future Trunks versus Mecha Frieza. General White, don't know. Gogeta Blue. Pretty powerful up there with Vegeta, I'd say. So let's put him here. Gohan Resurrection of Frieza. All he really did is turn Super Saiyan and that was about it. So at least kind of slacked on his training as well. So not very high, I don't think. So I'd just put him in those. Well, he's in Super Saiyan here, so I'd say, yeah, just sort of bottom of all the transforms really. Gohan vs Majin Buu, where he's pretty much at his peak really, so he's got to be pretty high. Super Buu, where are you? There you go. Gohan versus Super Buu. Wait, there's 2 of them. Oh, that's Majin Buu and that's Super Buu. So Majin Buu is a bit weaker, so let's put him here. Gohan Tournament Power, I'd say he's about the same here, so I don't think there are many opportunities to show that he's actually improved, so let's go here. Let's put him ahead actually. Yeah, probably got a bit stronger. Gohan, second form Frieza. Where'd I put the other Gohan? Second form Frieza. He couldn't beat Frieza, so... and he's not, like, certainly not in that area, so let's put him similar to where... so... yeah, he still kind of struggled with the Guinea Force, didn't he? So Goku versus Perfect Cell, though, he's really strong. He's going to have to end up going pretty high. Gave Perfect Cell a pretty tough time, so let's put him here. Gohan versus Raditz, so is pretty low, I'd imagine. Although he did display a really big amount of power when he headbutted his stomach. So yeah, I'll put him here, that one here, and that one here. That's a bit neater. Gohan versus Android 19. He lost Android 19, so it makes sense to put him Gohan versus Broly in Goku blue form, Super Saiyan Blue. That feels about right, I think. Maybe here actually. Versus Goku Black. Quite a few of these are going to be quite similar to each other because they're all the same form really, just maybe a slight power differentiation, very slight. Goku Black. He had no choice but to go with like fusion, so versus Broly versus Goku Black, I'd say about here. Golden Frieza versus Hit first fight. That doesn't really make much sense, does it? Below here, but ahead of the Super Saiyan gods. Goku versus Majin Buu. I'll put Buu here. Goku versus Majin Vegeta. Is that Super Saiyan? I think it's Super Saiyan, whatever. So probably a bit low actually. There. Goku versus Perfect Cell. Quite evenly matched here, so I'd put them here. Goku versus Raccoon. He's got to be stronger than Raccoon, hasn't he? We haven't got to Raccoon yet though, let's do that now. If he's there actually. Should be there, don't see why not. Come on Raccoon, there you are. Certainly one of the stronger members of the Guinea Force, so I'll put him here. And then get the Raccoon one. Put him, I'd say here. Goku versus Oob, though, probably one of the stronger base forms of his. So he's got to be quite a bit higher. He wasn't even fighting seriously against Oob, so it makes sense to put him pretty high. By that, the C and Z up to GT, which I think everyone tries to forget about. He's not going to be any stronger than the Super Saiyan forms, I don't think, except for maybe the Frieza Saga Saiyan, which is here. Golden Frieza Tournament of Power, it's got to be pretty high. Golden Frieza go by Tournament of Power versus Broly. Golden Frieza versus Broly. Yeah, again, gotta be somewhere here. Gotenks versus Beerus. Where's Gotenks? Do I have the Gotenks in here yet somewhere? I'll leave that for now and just go to Kami's Saiyan Saga. Gotenks versus Super Buu. He gave Super Buu a bit of trouble. This feels kind of right, I think. Supreme Kai Grand. That's the one that Fat Buu ate, so it's got to be up there. Kefla, Super Saiyan. Let's find regular Kefla and put her ahead of that. Maybe even further higher than that. Even. Where are you? There you are. Gibu versus Beerus. No, it's got to be ahead of that, hasn't it? And versus Deborah. And then we put Super Saiyan ahead of. He's actually got to be pretty high in G there. That seems right. Goku 21st. Don't know. Bless me. Thank you. Fortunately, we could skip quite a few of these ones because they're like really old sort of characters from Dragon Ball. So Roshi Max Power. Don't know. Shen? Don't know. Let's put this Super Saiyan Boo somewhere close to where Gohan Absorbed is, wherever he is. Where are you? Oh, there you are. Put him just below here, maybe? No, I'd say here actually. And then put Kefla a bit ahead. Actually, this makes more sense if we put him just behind there. There we go. That's more sense. Makes more sense. Krillin, Guru Boost. Let's find Saiyan Saga if he's there. Should be behind Gohan Guru Boost. Namek Saga. Resurrection of F. Don't know. I'd say stronger version there. Spirit Bomb. That Frieza Saga. He must have grown enough to do that, so I'm just kind of winging it, I think, at this point. What do you say here? Guru Boost. I think that might work. Cell Jr. versus Frieza. Second for Frieza versus. I think that's just regular Frieza sets from here. Cyberman could be quite a bit weaker now, so. Yeah. Lavender's got to be sort of somewhere around there. I'll just put him here. Vegeta Majin. I haven't got Super Saiyan 2 Goku yet. Let's do that now, actually. So if he's there still, I think we've already done that. Quite discreetly done. Oh, Majin Vegeta there is. So yeah, let's put them side by side, I think. Namekian Warriors, quite general, but I'd say seem a bit more capable than just those two alone. Perfect Cell Semi is just ahead of that, I'd say. Piccolo Jr. versus Android 20. Well, he did struggle with Android 20 when he, Android 20 caught him off guard, right? So it's got to be stronger than Android 20 though. And if you didn't, get trapped by Android 20, so let's do that. Android 20, where were you? There you are, somewhere. Where's Android 20? I swear I put him somewhere. Ah, there he is. Just on a technicality that Android 20 got the upper hand. Versus Beerus, he's got the God Power still, so I'd say here. Piccolo versus Cell Jr. though is quite a bit weaker, I think, so where's Cell Jr.? So many characters, I can't see the poor little bugger. There he is. Put him weaker than that. Piccolo Jr. versus Frieza. That doesn't seem quite logical, does it? Makes more sense to do this, and then that implies that he's weaker in Cell Jr. Then that means I'll have to boost him up a bit, so just to make some more logical sense, I think, because, you know, at least I think that makes some more logical sense. Perfect cell would go here, I'd say, yeah. Because he's got to be gradually getting stronger over time, hasn't he? I'd be worried if he was getting weaker, because I can't imagine Piccolo sort of slacking off that way. Obviously, Yamcha goes behind the Cyberman. Cell Jr. though, yeah, I'd say about the same, really. Poor Yamcha. Tien versus Beerus. Tien versus Boo. Yep. Versus Cyberman. He's at least able to kill them, so. Tien versus Cell Jr. Where's Cell Jr.? I had him just a moment ago, didn't I? Gotta use my eyes. Couldn't really fight them off, and I think Piccolo would be strong anyway, so. Gotenks versus Beerus. Kind of struggled with Beerus, so. But he's combined Goten and Young Trunks, so. And he's a fusion as well, so. Not as strong as Super Buka Tank Sword though. Triangle Danger Beam? Don't even know why that's there. Yamcha, nope. Don't know. Trunks versus sorry, I'm just checking something for a second. There we go. Trunks versus Goten. No, a bit better actually, I think then. Vegeta Final Flash Tournament Power. Charging a lot of power. It's got to be stronger than regular Vegeta. No, it's got to be bigger, more stronger than that, surely. I'd say about that there. Same Saga Vegeta. Power crept to Buggery, so stronger than Raditz, but stronger than all those, but not. Actually, yeah, that sounds about right. Vegeta versus First Form Frieza. Let's see, where did Frieza? I swear I put him a bit higher than that. Yeah. Don't know why there's so many different first forms, there's second forms, third forms, etc. Versus Android 18. Got his ass whooped, so of course he's below Android 18. Weaker than the androids, a bit like Goku really, so versus Beerus with the meme-worthy face there. Yeah, let's go. Put it in here somewhere. He's gotten considerably stronger since then, so it makes sense to put him. Beerus. Trials, yeah, gotta be better than that. Majin, he's grown quite a bit since then, so I'd say here, maybe. Vegeta versus Kaba, about the same I'd say, so let's find him here and then put him here. Versus Cell Jr. I don't know, that doesn't feel right, I'd say here. No, because he got his ass kicked in by them, didn't he? So, Vegeta versus Goku Black. Sort of similar to Goku versus Goku Black. Really, so. Just a bit below, I think, now. Golden Frieza. And finally, well, this took a lifetime. That's Vegeta versus Semi-Perfect Cell. What kind of underwhelming note to end on, but let's do that. Where is Semi-Perfect Cell? I put him here somewhere. Where's that? There he is. He gave him a hard time. Better than base form Trunks. I'd say... yeah, that sounds right. And there you have it. That is the tier list. Took the longest out of all of them by quite a margin, so yeah. Probably wasn't worth it, but you know, give my 2 cents on it. Squeeze me. So let's have a quick glance at the tier list. As you can see, obviously the Gods of Destruction and God himself, Zeno, is right up there, the most powerful of the bunch. Some that are really, really powerful, but not quite there. So you got Ultra Instinct Goku and G-Man and his other Ultra Instinct forms. Goku Black, pretty close. The fusions are obviously stronger. The gods haven't really shown much combat display, so kind of hard to see them in action and get a firmer decision on what, you know, how strong they actually are. Toppo, you know what, I'm feeling like Toppo should be a bit ahead because he has got destruction powers here, so this does feel quite right actually, so yeah. Other than that, I think that's alright. Maybe there's some little misplacements here, but I think, as you can see, a lot of the original Dragon Ball characters will probably end up in F or D anyway, because, you know, it's a long, long time ago. Quite a few that have powers, but, you know, have been power crept to buggery, like mostly the Saiyan and Frieza characters. And a lot of Saiyans are in B or A, so, which makes sense to me, so... yeah, that took quite a while. I think I might just take a quick breather just to, you know, have a drink and, you know, do other things. We got a few more tier lists yet left, but quite a few of them are going to be a lot easier. So, yeah, we'll be right back to do the next one. See you in a bizzle. Hello, and that was just a brief little breather. I apologise for saying bizzle earlier because that was pretty cringe, wasn't it? Righty, let's actually get to the next tier list. Before we do that, let's just have one quick little scan of mostly original Dragon Balls are at the bottom. Some mostly humans and weak henchmen down there as well. What else? We got quite a lot of Saiyan and Frieza's sort of C-B area. quite a few, and the higher Bs are from Boo and like Power and stuff. And then we got, you know, all the gods and really sort of high power levels like Ultra Instinct and Vegeta Blue and what have you in that area, and then of course the gods at the top. So now we got that out of the way, let's go straight to the next ones. And fortunately the next ones will be much simpler and straightforward and would take a freaking eternity. This one should be a nice simple breather really. JoJo arcs. Phantom Blood I think it's called, the first one. D. I mean, there's nothing particularly wrong with the series, it's just the most forgettable, and I think this was a point where they weren't quite sure what to do. There were no stands, and this was set in like Victorian times or something. It moved at a super fast pace, I don't know. Fortunately it did get better with Battle Tendency, which is... it's a really fun series. This is where I think it really started to kick off, even without stands and that. Caesar's death was pretty sad, and they really like sort of made you like, you know, feel for it, even though Caesar was kind of just didn't have as much screen time as we'd like, but you know, still. And it also introduced like Joseph Joestar, my favorite star, so yeah. And it's a pretty fun little series. Stardust Crusaders and S for me is my favorite. Both parts. Fun little adventure in Egypt, quirky characters and enemies. Dio, you know, the one that possessed Jonathan Joestar. Pretty epic fights and animation, and just really cool overall. And it isn't just because it's the longest one, it's because it's also just generally the most fun. And also Jotaro Kujo, one of the most iconic characters in anime. Well, in my opinion. Diamond and Unbreakable is also pretty fun. I'd give that a B. They do a good job with like world building, and main character of that one, Josuke, is kind of cool as well. There were some episodes that didn't feel like they connected to anything though, like the one about the bakery, that chef guy, and you know, the Yukako I think her name was, the one with the hair powers. But yeah, Kira's pretty cool antagonist, collecting fingers and that, and also the art style is pretty interesting as well, very bright and colourful as well, so that's also something. Yeah, so pretty cool series overall. 5? I don't know actually. I would say it's somewhere around B as well. I think Giorno's not as memorable and iconic as I mean, he's got an iconic design, but you don't really feel like the main character at times. It felt more like he was a side character that just had a bit more focus put into him. Also a bit disappointed with Doppio and Diavolo, I think that name was, being the antagonists. I felt a bit underwhelming near the end. Some cool, nice little callbacks to like some characters from Stardust as well though, so... but yeah, animation was good, and that some pretty cool characters like Bucciaretti and such, so yeah. I haven't watched these two, but let's finish with Stone Ocean, which gets an A. I enjoyed this one quite a lot as well. Yep, the Joestar in this one's pretty awesome. Sorry, her name's kind of slipped off my mind already. Oh, Jesus, what was her name? I did watch it not that long ago as well. Jotaro's daughter, basically, yeah, is Jolene. Jolene, that's one. Jolene. Yeah, I remember now. Yeah, she's a pretty cool protagonist. She's not just a tough character, you know, for feminism's sake. She's actually got a bit of sensitivity and, you know, can kick ass whilst doing it as well. She grows as a character. So pretty good other quirky characters like FF and yeah, the main antagonist Pucci as well has a pretty good motivation, and you get a bit backstory in that. So yeah, I'm talking about the anime mainly about these. This tier list was made by Marcy_99, so thanks. Yeah, that was pretty easy, wasn't it? I might be a bit biased about 3 though, but yeah, that's just my opinion anyway. Actually, I'll put 5 in C because it's not as memorable to me. None of them are F because I like all of them in their own way. Well, that was pretty easy, so let's go straight to the next one. This might take a bit longer, but hopefully not too much longer. So this is just Mario characters, at least some of the more iconic ones. Rosalina is... I'll put her in S for now. Could be A, but her backstory in Galaxy, her really cool design. She's a better version of Peach basically, before Peach actually got character development and that. So Bowser is a iconic villain, intimidating but also not too evil looking for more appeal for the younger audiences. Bowser Jr. is cool as well, B. Donkey Kong is A as well. Diddy Kong also A, but not as good as Donkey Kong. King Boo's alright. Peter Piranha's appeared in Sunshine and a bunch of cameos. Just giant plant monster really. Same goes for the King Bob-Omb guy from 64. Birdo's alright, I suppose. Appeared in Super Mario Brothers 2 and appeared in cameos, not really important. Koopa, it's kind of generic and just a generic enemy really. F. Mario is S. Shy Guy, I'd say more interesting as design I think, so just ahead of Koopa. Magic Koopa's D, most interesting of Koopas, at least one more interesting. Goomba's F. Spike, got a bit more going on than the others, so I'd put that this guy in the one I kind of like how he just sort of spits out a giant spike ball from his mouth and throws it. That's kind of interesting attack, and at least he does attack. So Pauline, fine. In Odyssey she was alright. In Donkey Kong she was okay. Just a damsel in distress in that game, and I like that she's kind of like a jazz singer now, so, but still not really that important. Cappy's fine as well. At least he's more important than the others, so I'll put him B. Dry Bowser is a really cool design. I actually prefer him a bit more than the regular Bowser just because of how scary he looks. Luma is alright. It's just a cute little sort of blob ready, star ready, so let's put this little fella. At least he's got a cute factor I suppose, and appears to help you at least in some ways. Blooper, annoying little fuckers. Lucky 2, like that he's a cameraman and also in 64, and also the lights guy in Mario Kart. So maybe putting him C is maybe a bit generous, I don't know, but yeah, I'll just put him in D then. I'll just put him in D. Yeah, Luigi's above Mario. In fact, he's my favourite character, so fuck it, I'll put him in this. Dry Bones is better than Koopa, so put him there. Actually, I like his design quite a bit, so I've got to put, and the concept of him not being ready to die unless you have invincibility or something, so I'll put him high F. These could be a little irritating, but easy enough to navigate. Also, he's a playable character in Smash, which is pretty hilarious. Baby Mario is, Baby Luigi's a bit better than Baby Mario though. Actually, I'll put them in C and put that in D. And Birdo, yeah, I think that's about right. Maybe put Pauline above Birdo. Baby Peach, kind of pointless almost. Well, with the exception of Yoshi's Island games, but yeah. Wiggler. This one, some of these are tough because they don't have too much of a personality outside of just being enemies. Hammer Brothers could go fuck themselves, but I appreciate their design and also their attack style, so I know like one of the earliest threats in the Mario universe. I can't remember their names properly, not all of them at least. I'll put them about the same, I would say, so I'll probably put Ludwig though above the others though, I'd say. So Roy, one's Larry, one's Iggy, one's Lemmy, but I just can't remember, and Roy. He's probably my least favourite. Morton, I think his name is. No, I'll put the babies behind them. In fact, I'll put them in D for D's nuts, and put Pauline in front there. Pauline's fine now. I think she's fine. Princess Peach, you'd think would be like somewhere high with the others, but nah. She's cute though, and she at least had more stuff to do in the franchise with this games and the movie and that, so Yeah, that's about right, I think. This spiky guy, don't really care much for. These piantas, I think they're pinatas, whatever they're called. Don't really care much for them. Pretty cool design. Toadsworth, you know, Sunshine's fine. Yeah, fine. Funky Kong, I don't know, I've never played the Donkey Kong games and only played them in kart. Actually, you know what, I'll just put him below Donkey Kong because they're quite similar, at least in Mario Kart. Daisy though is above Peach in my opinion. Thwomp is just a giant brick thing, so same goes for this one. Monty Mole, at least it's got more sort of digging from the ground, popping up and running around the place, so Nabbit, I don't really know, I haven't played any of the games that feature him. And also it's a bit confusing, he's annoyance and he's a playable character as well. Egad though is pretty fun now. Pretty fun, and also has quite a bit of lore, you know, creating the vacuum and the floods and that, so yeah. I'll put Funky Kong actually in B. This guy that just rushes around the place. Actually, let's put Penguin in F. It's just a penguin. Toad's fine. Toad's okay. Same with Toadette. She's fine. Wario is an A. And Waluigi is... I want to put A as well. Kind of a shame he doesn't really get any time to shine really, because he's not been in many main games. Yoshi's got BS, I think. King K. Rool. I haven't played Donkey Kong, so I don't really know. I've only seen cameos of him in like Smash Brothers and that. Queen Bee, don't really care much for. Bullet Bill, kind of annoying to deal with, you know, when they pop out with little to no telegraphing in the game, especially in Mario World and Mario 1. So I'll put this one... This Charger guy, kind of like his design in a way, just sort of breaks everything he goes past. Don't really know this one. Metal Mario is just Mario, just metal. Same with Peach, Peach just metal. These two bosses appear here and there, but I don't really care too much for them, so they go just... I'd say they go somewhere here, I'd say. And the Cheep Cheeps, I don't really like them, so... let's see. Fish. At least fish are a little bit more tolerable than squid, in my opinion. I'll put this one back, and at least these are kind of iconic enemies that are fairly straightforward to deal with. So yeah, there's quite a lot of Fs here. Maybe I'm being a bit too critical, but yeah, Luigi's obviously top, Rizlina, and yeah, I think that's pretty much okay. I think that's about right. I like Funky Kong's design, and Cappy's kind of helpful, leads to a game where your actual abilities actually really matter, like, you know, spinning the cap, use a platform, or to transform into other enemies and that, or, you know, warp into enemies to become them. Yeah, I think that's about right actually. I'll put Wendy maybe just above Roy, but not behind the others. At least those have a little bit more of a crazy look to them personally. I think that's okay. I'll just leave it at that and move on to the next one. Pizza toppings, nice. Now we're going to get to the reason why I created the thumbnail as I have, because there's one particular topping that I just don't understand. Pineapple, F. Pineapple, really? On pizza? Come on. You got the sweetness and the juiciness of the pineapple, doesn't really complement the cheese and the oil and ugh. Now we got that out of the way, let's go to plain, which is just fine. Pretty much the standard really. Scallions? Scallions? Never had it with scallions, so Slimy, B. Green olives, nah. Green peppers, yeah. Red chilies, not on my pizza, a bit too intense. really you were eating a pizza just for easy like sort of snack, but with chilies it kind of ruins that a bit. Pepperoni's better than salami, so actually let's put an A. Red bell peppers. I think green peppers go a bit better than green peppers. Italian sausage is nice. Spinach, no, I don't think so. Sardines, again, don't get it. Don't get why you would want to put sardines on a pizza. I like sardines, but on a pizza doesn't seem right. Same with seafood. Surely they should be on the same place, really. Corn, it's fine. Doesn't ruin it too much. Works sometimes, but other times not so much. Love bacon on pizza. Absolutely, there's just a salty, meaty taste. Just complements the pizza so well, contrasts with it so well. You know, they complement like with the contrast of cheese and the bacon lush. Red onions are nice. I prefer it than peppers. White or yellow onions? That's tough. I think I prefer red onions more than white onions on my pizza. Basil, fine. American cheese, yeah, I'd say it's pretty good. Fresh tomatoes, I don't really like fresh tomatoes. I like the sort of purees and that, but yeah, I think pineapple should be at bottom of F, and the fresh tomatoes, I don't mind them, but I'd rather not have them on there, so low D I'd say. Ham is A. Pepperoni's though got a bit more of a character to its flavour, so that's ahead of ham. Shrimp is same as seafood really. Why? Shouldn't those two be counted as seafood really? Because they're from the sea, aren't they? So, or some sort of water. Banana peppers. Never had them on there, so barbecue sauce is lush on pizza. Cheddar is better than American cheese, I think. Mango? No. No, as in I haven't had it, but I imagine like no, I wouldn't like it. Garlic is fine. On pizza. Hard cheese, not so much. Ground beef though is absolutely lush on pizza. The texture, the meatiness makes it a lot heavier and nice. Spicy sausage, not as good as regular sausage, so I'll put that in slow C. Extra cheese, any kind. Absolutely. Sun-dried tomatoes, nah, not really. What does that say? It's kind of hard to read with the red text. Canned tuna? Ugh, no. No thank you. Yeah. Nice. Serrano ham, I imagine, is similar to regular ham. Last time I tasted it anyway. Ranch dressing, never had it with ranch dressing. Probably worse than the red chilies because they're more intense. Kind of defeats the purpose of having a pizza, because you don't really have a pizza for it to be spicy. You want a pizza to just be easy to eat. Feta, never had it actually. Mushrooms could go fuck themselves. The only reason it's not the absolute bottoms because pineapple and green olive exist. I guess the fish could work if you have certain combinations, but most of the time I imagine it just ruins it. Black olives, about the same as green olives really, probably a little bit higher. Chicken any kind, of course you gotta have chicken. Anchovies, I've never had it with anchovies, but I don't like anchovies, so artichoke, is that, I don't know. And mozzarella slices. Let's see, is there anything we could change here? Probably put barbecue sauce at the bottom, because it doesn't always work, but it's very good. Pepperoni, yeah, I'm happy with this one. Most of the meats are at the top, some nice sauces as well. Quite a few of the sort of vegetables like onions and peppers are there. Some other ones like basil and corn are fine, but then you get to the stuff that's like, what the fuck? Fish on pizza? Pineapple on pizza? No thanks. Quite a few of I haven't had those, so maybe one day. I'm probably not going to bother with this one because that's going to just take too long. I'll just stick to the simpler ones. I was going to do Sonic characters, but there's so many of them. Maybe another time if I decide to do another one of these. Righty, so let's just do the Star Wars movies. Let's keep things nice, short and simple, because I've already been doing this for about 3 hours now, so let's just do a couple more and I think I'll call it a night. Let's start go in chronological order though, so from the beginning of the story to the end. Let's just get but first let's get rid of some movies I haven't watched yet. So this one, which is the Clone Wars movie, haven't watched this one. I haven't watched the Ewok movies, wherever they are there. I haven't even watched the Holiday Special, which I think I just put there. There we go, Holiday Special. Never watched these, so I can't really say, although I imagine they're not that great. This one was created by Zikoyanix. I hope I pronounced it right. Can't remember if I gave credit to the other person previously. I apologise. You know, I'll probably put credits in the description of this video or something when I've finished live recording it. So, oh well, what can you do? Well, I could do that really. Just give them credit in the description. Right, so let's go through all 11 movies. Is that 11? I thought it was more than that. Okay. Let's start with Phantom Menace. It's one of those movies that started off pretty bad, but then I think when people watch the sequel trilogy, like, you know, it wasn't that bad. It's one of the few Star Wars movies I actually went to see in the cinema when I was a kid. When it came out in 1999 or something like that. So I was quite young, and, you know, all the stimulation, like from the pod racing and the Gungan army fight and the Duel of the Fates, I think it has gotten better than it was before because of the sequel trilogy, and it has some iconic moments like, as said, the pod racing, the fight against Darth Maul, the introduction of like C-3PO and R2-D2, and sort of more of an origin of Palpatine as well. So, you know, and this is also a point where they didn't go. I mean, the CG hasn't aged very well, but you know, at least it was not overboard like some of the other movies. Speaking of which, Attack of the Clones. I think they went a bit too far with the CG, made the humans look cartoony. The Padme Anakin relationship was kind of cringe, but it did have some good moments too, like the fight against Jango Fett and the Camino, the big sort of stadium fight near the end, the fight against Count Dooku and Yoda. I actually quite like that fight because of how goofy and over the top it is. But I still prefer Phantom Menace just because of how many more iconic things it brought to the table. At least it established the clone army thing, so which would carry over to some future movies, especially one of the sequel trilogy movies. But overall, yeah, that kind of mid for me. Sort of near the back of the Star Wars, you know, tier list. Revenge of the Sith, on the other hand, is an A. I like this movie. It just sort of tones down the politics and, you know, in favour of like action and drama and suspense and some epic battles like the one at the end in Mustafar. Palpatine finally becomes the Emperor. Yoda fight was pretty cool. Some pretty cool effects that have aged a bit better than the other two. The chemistry between Anakin and Obi-Wan was much stronger, I think, and the beginning scene with General Grievous in space, and that was really awesome. Grievous I don't mind either, even if he does add a weird accent in that. I think it's a pretty solid entry in the franchise, and the way it sort of leads off to the New Hope is sort of ends to the build up to the New Hope was felt a bit fast paced, but still quite fitting. Sets up the New Hope quite nicely. So yeah, A. Next in the timeline is I think it's Rogue One. I'd say it's B. It's one of those movies that starts off pretty slow and tedious, but then near the end it just gets better and better. K2SO is one of my favourite robots in the movie series. About his sarcasm and his design, like a big hunchbacked thing, and I was kind of sad when he kicked the bucket. Oh, did I mention that there's going to be spoilers in this stream of whoops? But yeah, it also looks the part as well with a distinct style, and I'm kind of glad that it does tones down Jedi and, you know, the Force and that, and focuses more on the warfare. It helps it stand out a bit, and the acting wasn't bad either. As said though, for the first half it's kind of slow and meanders a bit, but then over time it just gets better, like until the end. So, and also that last part with Darth Vader was really cool. The CG is kind of mixed bag. Grand Moff Tarkin didn't look so bad, but then Leia, yeah, that's kind of odd, even though she appeared in like a few seconds at the end. So that's pretty much it really for this movie. I kind of liked it. Solo, A Star Wars Story is meh. I can't really remember much from it apart from like the fact that one of the characters was like all in an armor disguise, but then like she takes her off helmet. Oh my god, it's a woman! Like a Samus Aran sort of situation. As I said, I don't remember much from it. Performances were alright, and yeah, it's no wonder why this was one of the least sort of successful movies, Star Wars movies, budget-wise, and that. So yeah, a little bit of a shame, really. Now we get to the original trilogy, New Hope, my favourite of the bunch. So it's got BS. Tells a great story of you know, that feels like an adaptation more like almost. So memorable characters, memorable lines, pretty good effects for its time, which I think some still hold up pretty well. I only watched the special edition though, so I don't know. Some of the CG in that did look pretty bad, and has not aged well. At least they do a bit of world building though, that's something. The soundtrack by John Williams is fantastic. Like the this was before the Imperial March though, but you know, distinct areas, you know, like with Mos Eisley Spaceport and you know, the Death Star, of course. It's one of the few Star Wars movies that can be its own self-contained story. You can watch this alone and you'll feel like you've got a complete story, compared to some which just feel like, you know, prequels or, you know, just building up to the actual movie or to the sequel that may or may not happen. Just thought I'd have a quick glance at my live streaming YouTube studio for a second, just yeah. So yeah, that's why I feel it's my favourite movie of the bunch. Empire Strikes Back though is a close second. A much darker tone, you know, Planet of Hoth, some other memorable lines like, I thought it smelled bad on the outside. And of course, no, I am your father, that Darth Vader tells Luke, you know, after cutting his arm off. Most of his arm off anyway. And Cloud City, some really good set designs in that. Dagobah, Yoda was introduced. Lando, Calrissian. And Boba Fett, who in my opinion isn't as good as Jango Fett, but you know, still realise why he's so iconic just by his design and his badassery, despite having very little to do in this movie. Return of the Jedi is also a solid A, just like with Revenge of the Sith. Might have some flaws, but you know, like with the Ewoks, they felt a bit too involved, even though they're kind of annoying. Being annoyingly cute, rather. Death Star 2, wow, they just happen to have another Death Star. Which leads to a pretty cool space battle though, I'll admit. Akbar's is a trap. The final fight between Darth Vader and Luke in front of the Emperor. It's a good conclusion to the original trilogy. It might not be the best of the three, but certainly one that still, I think, holds up quite nicely. With Yoda's death and Darth Vader's redemption. I'm glad that in the special edition they changed the end music from that Ewok-y music to something more like, you know, more orchestral. So yeah, very solid trilogy all round. Now we get to the more infamous ones though, and this might be where the F's start appearing. Although I will admit, Force Awakens did start off things quite nicely. It felt more like a foundation rather than a, you know, its own original project because there were so many things that are borrowed from other movies. Like, for example, Jakku was just like Tatooine; it's a desert planet. Death Star was now Starkiller, which is super, like, million times bigger than a Death Star. Instead of just destroying one planet, it destroys like dozens. Kylo Ren at least didn't feel like a complete clone of Darth Vader, just like someone who's dedicated to the Darth Vader's life and cause before he turned to the light side. I actually don't mind Kylo Ren's personality in this. He did feel like an immature child, but I think that was the point. He started off that way and then he'll build up to be a more intimidating figure, which I don't think they kind of did overall, which is a bit of a shame. And that cliffhanger with Rey handing the lightsaber to Luke Skywalker was a pretty cool way to, you know, a cool to be continued situation. So yeah, not the best of the bunch, but certainly has its moments, and just Disney's way of saying, oh, we've got this, you know, we'll be fine, Star Wars will be fine with us. Until Last Jedi came out, and yeah, I think we all know where this film is gonna go. B. Yeah. If any of you are watching like after this live stream and you noticed I put it this high, I'm just being honest. I don't hate this movie, but I don't love it as much as the others. There are some redeeming qualities of this movie. I like the chemistry between Rey and Kylo and their Force phone calls. I actually don't mind Luke becoming an old hermit, grumpy man, you know? Because at least he does have a redemption. I think it's because I found out what happened to Indiana Jones in the end of the 5th movie. I haven't seen the 5th movie, but I know what happens to Indiana in that movie. And it kind of makes you appreciate how Luke doesn't remain an old geezer throughout the movie. He actually, you know, hesitates to whether he should use the Force again, help it, and he does in the end. He helps the rebellion escape with his Force powers, and that Force power where he projects himself to another planet, so much so that it kills him. That's just crazy. Crazy cool. Not a bad way to end Luke's legacy, I think, with him staring at the two suns. Bringing back Puppy Yoda's a nice little bit of nostalgia. I think there are quite a few plot holes there, like how did Phasma survive, even though they said they were going to put her in a trash compactor at the end of the previous movie. And they kill her off pretty quickly, kind of like Jango Fett style. I heard the alternate scene of that was going to be like she has a redemption and then the stormtroopers turn on her or something. Kind of shame they didn't do that. It's one of the cleanest and you know, most expensive looking movies I've seen in the Star Wars franchise. The cinematography is actually pretty cool. The effects aren't too bad. I'll admit the Camino Bite one, is it Canto Bite? No, Canto Bite. I understand like the Canto Bite felt pretty pointless, which I'll admit it did, and could have been removed entirely in place with something else, like more focus on Luke and Rey's training arc. I even like the Porgs, because they remind me of, they're like a cross between pugs and penguins, and I like those creatures. So overall, I don't hate it as much as everyone else is. I see some redeeming qualities enough to put it somewhere around the middle. It is the middle of the pack movie, so... Rise of Skywalker, on the other hand, yeah, I did not like this one. It just took what was established in the previous two movies and just said, fuck that, I'm doing what I want. Fuck, you know, letting the past die and making Kylo Ren the main antagonist. That would have been too nice and original. Let's just go redact everything that Rian Johnson did and do anything, which led to a sequel that just felt disconnected from the rest of the trilogy. And that ending as well, ugh. It also didn't seem as clean and crisp as the previous movie as well. I did like how they brought back the Force calling thing though. The fight between Kylo and Rey was good. Some of the planets felt samey, like that festival in the desert. The fake outs were getting kind of annoying after the second or third one. Like the one where I thought Chewbacca died because of Rey's lightning, but no, it turns out he's in a completely different ship. Yeah, it's my least favourite of the bunch, so it makes sense to put it in F. So yeah, this is going to be quite a hot take, isn't it, of a tier list, because putting Last Jedi as high as it is, but that's just my honest opinion really, so yeah. But there's no denying that the originals deserve to be in these two tiers. Righty, this next tier list was created by TierMaker, apparently, according to these details. Quite a few characters here. I probably won't do all of them. So let's start with the Simpson family then, if we can find them. Homer is obviously yes, funny, has a sweetheart, you know, funny, hilarious stereotype of an American. Love him. So many iconic moments. Dull. You know, what else can you say? I'd say Bart is just behind him though. He was like the mascot of the franchise until Homer became a star. Marge is A. can be a bit annoying and grating at times, but especially in the newer series where voice is kind of, it's clear that the voice actress can't do her voice like she used to. Maggie is adorable, has her moments, but not as many as the others. Lisa's fine. She has some pretty good story arcs, but her stereotype of being like a liberal, feminist kind of character wears out over time, especially in the newer series. Patty and Selma, I think I get them confused. That's Patty, that's Selma, I can't remember. Either way, they're about the same. I think one's slightly better though, maybe like Selma, I think it is, or Patty. Why do they have to look so similar? Good old Santa's little helper. And Snowball was D because aside from like a handful of stories, like the one where the Snowball cats keep dying and she ends up with one that looks exactly the same and that, yeah. Lindsay Nagel is D. Lou is fine. Superintendent that is responsible for the steam handling, so it's obviously got to be. Rest in peace, person who played Troy McClure. You've been responsible for pretty good episodes where you getting used to, is it Patty or Summer? I said I can't really remember. Barney Gumbel's pretty cool. Has quite a good arc where he tries to stop alcoholism and become like a sober person. Judge Harm had a couple episodes, I think, not much else, so but at least she led to one of the biggest problems in the show with her, punishing Homer and Bart for being irresponsible parents. Let's go to, if we can find him, it's got to be Ned Flanders here somewhere. Let's just actually, Sideshow Bob is an A. One of the biggest antagonists who has so many different, he's gone through quite a journey from being a bad guy to a good guy and bad guy again. It's crazy. Disco Still is coming for you, but he's only going to arrive at C. Probably D maybe, I don't know. Spider Pig, bit like Maggie, but less time to shine. Appeared a couple times. Cookie Kwan, meh. It's more of a stereotype than anything really, isn't she? Krusty is an A, probably ahead of Sideshow Bob. Actually, probably ahead of Barney as well. Wayne and Smithers, feel sorry for this guy, because his dad died to save plan and that and his life. Feel sorry for this guy, I'd say B. Snake is fine. Dr. Nick could be pretty funny. So up to C. Brilliant Gums didn't really do that much. He had like a couple episodes and that's about it. The Yes Man. I can't really do the impression. Yes. Whatever. I shouldn't even bothered. Just has one catchphrase and not much else, so he's an F. Otto's had a couple bits and bobs here and there. Cleves his wife, whatever her name was. Yeah, not really much going on there with her. Dredrick Tatum, funny kind of like piss take out of Mike Tyson. Hank Scorpio, didn't really do that much, but has been a couple there. I think Bleeding Gums Murphy those had more prominence. There's Ned Flanders, I'd say S. Being religious but also having anger issues, and also had quite a few stories with like Maud and that. Speaking of Maud, she's going in high F. She didn't really do much, she was just the wife of Ned Flanders and that's pretty much it. Not much going on with her character, well, until she died. I miss Edna Krabappel, I think we all do, so let's put her in A. The chemistry between Bart and that was nice and sort of just kind of like back when we were in school. Just a stereotype really, so I'm putting Texan in F. Comic book guy is pretty funny, he also had a couple good storylines where, he had a heart attack and Bart and Mill has to look after the comic book store. So I'd put this person in B. Duffman didn't really do much, had a couple of jokes, but that's about it. Dr. Hibbert, I miss his old voice, but still the nice sort of warm and laughing doctor I think we all wanted, or want. Kang and Kodos are more just Halloween characters more than anything, and had a few, I guess, non-canon appearances, so they're sort of like, but at least they've been around a bit more than the others, so I'll put them in D. I don't mind them, but they're just kind of meh. Itchy and Scratchy, about the same really. They're both characters in the cartoon that Bart and Lisa watch. Reverend Lovejoy is fine as well. Maybe I'm being biased because I like animals a bit more than the human characters here, like Santa's Little Helper and that, and Spider Pig, or Harry Plopper, whichever one to call him. Yeah, I think that's about right. Chief Wiggum was a bit ahead of these people though, I think. Grandpa, I think, is S. So many fun adventures with him and Homer and Bart and such. And just a quirky older person, so yeah. Same with Mr. Burns, I think. He's just more iconic though, I think, so... Probably ahead of Flanders, actually, maybe. Millhouse is Bart's friend and a funny little nerdy guy. Contrasts with Bart pretty well. I'll put her a bit by Maggie. Let's see. Agnes, I think her name was. The Skinner's mother. Or quote unquote mother, remember that episode? Armin Tanzarian. Don't really remember much about her, so yeah, D sounds about right. Got the Van Houten parents. They are also D, I think. The dad's, I think, a bit more characterful. Rainy Castle's kind of funny, a bit like Dreaded Train really, but just has more screen time. Luigi is more of a stereotype, and that's about it really. Also has a couple of good stories, like where he makes friends with Bart, and also, you know, having a sort of connection with Lisa. I'll probably put Lisa at the front because it's a Simpson. It seems wrong to not put Simpson near the top of any tier. Uther, just a fat kid who has occasionally good jokes here and there, but that's about it. Not overly important. What was this tier list about? I guess it's just about, you know, how I feel about the character and their impact on in the Simpsons universe. Frank Grimes, I feel sorry for him, but he's only appeared like once in one of the episodes I kind of find tricky to watch really, but he at least has some backstory and you know, has a continuation actually. That's how much of an impact he's had on with his son trying to get revenge on Homer, so at least there's that, I suppose. So probably put him here. Apu, I'd say is... Apu's no longer in the show, is he? That's a bit of a shame because he's one of my favourite characters, I think, so I think he's got to be high A. Jimbo is B-ish, I suppose. Same with Dolph. I put pretty much all of the three of the bully characters here, wherever they are. There. Jimbo, Dolph, and Ernie? Is it Ernie? I can't remember. News reporter guy. At least he was funnier than quite a few of the other characters. Fat Tony. Is this the new Fat Tony or the old Fat Tony? I can't remember. I don't know. It looks like probably the same. Who cares? They both act and look the same. I quite like him as a character. Crazy Cat Lady. It's just nothing more than a punchline really, but once you see that episode about her backstory, then yeah, adds a bit of humanity to her. But that doesn't help her too much, not really, so... Evil monobrow baby thing. There's not really much to say about this character. Lenny's okay. I don't mind Lenny at all. So I'll put Lenny... I mean, Mr. Burns likes Lenny, but I'm not going to put Lenny that high, so I'll put Carl same place, because, you know, they're the friends of Homer. They're quite similar in terms of, like, their purpose in the show, being Homer's friends. Seymour Skinner, yeah. Actually, I'll put him a bit higher. I'll put him in A. Because without him, we wouldn't have steamed ham, so that's something. Mandula, kind of bland, just being a Pooh's wife mainly. I'd say about the same as Cletus is, maybe. The teacher, Hoover, Miss Hoover, not as good as Echnocrobabble, but does a good job at showing, like, the typical I'm too sick of this teaching shit kind of teacher, you know. We've all had one of those. So I'd say about here then. Cletus, funny sort of stereotype of hillbillies. Maybe a bit dated now, but, you know, had some funny little skits here and there. So I'd put this person here, I'd say. Jasper, old guy, also kind of doesn't have too much going on, but I do like his design and some funny jokes about his beard, and, you know, in some of the Treehouse of Horror episodes, so I'd say here. Bobby Man, yeah, such a minor character, so little to do, and hasn't really been responsible for that many funny jokes, unlike Professor Frink, who I'd say is pretty funny indeed. I do this actually. Seymour Skinner could go here, Sideshow Bob. Actually, I'll move just behind Marge, I think. Captain McAllister, who's not a real captain, by the way. Another kind of stereotype that didn't really have much to do throughout, still hasn't had much to do in this series. I guess they've toned down the inclusion of stereotypes, really, so I'll put him somewhere around here, but I think he's one of the more tolerable ones. Most Sislak, though, he has had quite a journey since the beginning. Being a bartender, you know, about dating and, you know, having a purpose in life and being the Homer's, you know, friend bartender. This is quite tough. I'd say, yeah, high A. The old Jewish man is just that. But yeah, he's had quite a few funny jokes though, so that kind of pushes him up a bit higher than Jasper, I'd say. Hans Moleman is the same. I prefer him over the other older people. The lawyer, blue-haired lawyer. I mean, yeah, not much to say about this character because there's hardly any development and hardly any hilarity with this character. But Groundskeeper Willie, though, is pretty funny. I like him quite a bit as a character, so I'll put him, yeah, here. And he's also had some kind of stories as well, like how he becomes a gentleman and how he plays Freddy Krueger in Treehouse of Horror. Monkey behind Snowball. The judge, whatever his name was. Itchy Scratchy had been part of, like, you know, the episodes because of Bart and Lisa's watching the television and that, so, and he hasn't appeared in many episodes really, so I would say better than the other judge, that's for sure, so I'll put this person here. Mrs. Wiggum, another such minor wife character, but I think she has a bit of charm, being the sort of cheeky, sort of, you know, sweet type. Dr. Marvin Monroe, I think his name was. Only appeared in a handful of episodes and then kind of reappeared. Assumed dead, but not really. Let's go put him as a minor character, but, you know, a bit better than the others. Kent Brockman surprisingly had quite a few fun episodes, like where he lost his job and then they tried to get him back. And his real name is actually Brock Kentman, according to the comics. I haven't read many of the comics, but that's one of the few things I remember. So, and he appears quite frequently as well because he's a news reporter. Mother of that kid from that Bart falls in love with in one episode. She's like the bad girl and that bad woman. You know, don't play the rules. You know, smokes, drives convertibles. She's appeared at least a couple episodes, so she's not like she's completely vanished, but still. Rod and Todd, don't really care for them. They have fueled some funny like jokes about how they're overly kind and Christian and that, so where I put Todd there? Oh, I think I prefer Todd a bit better than Rod because, you know, he seems a bit more upbeat and therefore fuels the joke a bit better. Martin, a bit behind Millhouse, I think. Ralph is hilarious. I like Mel. I think he's one of my favourite, you know, elementary school characters in the show. Led to some pretty hilarious moments. Mayor Quimby, corrupt mayor, voiced based loosely on John F. Kennedy. Not really too much to say about that apart from he's just corrupt. So I think he's better than the. Actually, I might put. No, I think that because they played quite a big part in Treehouse Horror, I think they'll stick around with high D. Put this one in C. Sideshow Mel. Bring back Sideshow Bob because this character's fine, but just not the same. His overly theatrical voice is kind of nice sort of contrast with his occupation and such. So let's go with. Here, no, front of it, or I think, yeah, let's go here. Nerdy kid, I can't remember the name of. Does he even have a name? I don't know. Such minor character, really. I don't. He's just the overly nerdy guy. That's about it. Let's put this one. Reverend Lovejoy's wife, whatever her name was. Another one of the many numerous wife characters that doesn't really have much to do or hasn't really appeared that often, so it's kind of hard to say how funny or good she is as a character. She has the somebody please think of her children thing, so yeah. Lionel Hutz, voiced by the same guy who voiced Troy McClure. I miss that guy, rest in peace. I like how he's sort of like a dodgy lawyer, very believable. Why did I put? I don't know. I feel like I should put Chalmers a bit behind, but no, I think that's about right, somewhere around that area. Conductor guy, don't really care too much for this character. Yeah, pretty bland overall, I think, so put them there. At least with Bumblebee Man, his design is distinct, while this one's just conductor guy. One-armed guy, Herbert? Is it Herbert? Yet again, another character that had more potential, but just didn't really seem to appear that often. Badass design with the missing arm and that, and bomb shelters and stuff, what have you. So, yeah, surprisingly not F tier, but just kind of, you know. Why am I putting this guy here? I'm gonna put this guy probably here. No, I'll put him here. Squeaky voice teen is just stereotype really as well, but at least he has some funny jokes here and there, so I'll put him in high F. You know, I'll probably swap it around. I'll put the monkey and the cat here, and the squeaky voice teen in the D. The lunch lady, Doris, is that her name? I like her sort of dry, sort of cynical, her dry and cynical outlook on her job and stuff, so that I think helps push her up from some of the other characters. I'll put her in high D, because aside from just being that, she's, you know, there's not much else to say. Artie Ziff appeared too many times for my liking. I don't find him that interesting or funny, even though he's voiced by that guy, I think he was in Rat Race or something, I don't know. So Where should we put this guy? At least he has more of a purpose in the overall franchise with like his connection with Marge Simpson and, you know, school days and that. So at least put the here. Gil, gotta love Gil. Poor guy, can never catch a break. Kind of dodgy salesman type. I like him as a character. Bit somewhere around Nick Riviera, I think though. But Disco Stew. Put Lou here. Finally, guy in suit who works with Fat Tony. Not really much to say. There's he talks about President Kennedy's father in a Simpsons episode or something. I don't know. Which explains why his name is, I think his name is Legs. So yeah, not much to say really. But at least, you know, he looks kind of cool. There you have it. Pretty obvious, some of these, like Homer and Bart being at the top, Mr. Burns as well, Ned Flanders, and I'm tempted to put some of these characters in this as well. But I think this is about right, I think, for me anyway. So many characters that only appear here and there, obviously go to the bottom because, you know, shows how unimportant and, you know, one-dimensional they are, even though they're two-dimensional. But let's go to one more tier list, right? And then I think we'll call it a night. Let's end on something short and sweet with video game consoles, and fortunately I found this one that actually has all the consoles I've played and enjoyed. Well, that's a half-truth. Most of them. I've played at least once or twice, so I might be biased. This tier list was made by Silver's Mad World. So thank you for that, for creating it, so that we can talk about it right here. Well, I can talk about it right here. Start with the Master System. It's fine. It's not as good as NES because NES has a stronger library. Games and Master System, the only really good ones I think were ports and some RPGs I haven't played. So, but a nice step before the Genesis, which we'll get to soon. Saturn. I actually haven't played this one, so I can't say. Although it has had some games I enjoyed, like that came out in the Saturn first, like House of the Dead. So there's that. This is the Mega Drive, I think. I'm pretty sure it is. It's got B. Well, alright, let's put this one in there as well, because I think they're the same kind of thing. So many great games like Sonic the Hedgehog, Vector Man, Flicky, some pretty good ports of fighting games like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat, Comic Zone, Ooze, and quite a few more I think. Those are the ones that pop out of my mind at the moment. Cool sort of FM synthesis, 16-bit, really giving Nintendo a run for its money until they came up with SNES. Yeah, overall pretty cool consoles. Pretty dated now, but fun for what they were back then. Certainly played a big part of my life as a video game player. Dreamcast is, I think it was a B as well. Had some really good titles like, you know, Sonic Adventure, House of the Dead 2, Jet Set Radio, Space Channel 5. Trying to think of some more at the top of my head. Those are the main ones that I remember. And yeah, Sonic Adventure 2 was pretty cool. And yeah, it's an interesting system too because it had that little screen, the VMU I think it was called. And yeah, it was pretty advanced for its time because this came out sort of close to when the PS2 came out, and it was kind of as good if not better in some areas. It's a shame that this is the last Sega console though. Would have been nice to see, you know, Sega try one more time to stay in the game, but then they decided to go with the GameCube, which we'll talk about soon. Righty, let's go with next. The Xbox 360 is, I think, it's got to be an S, I think. It's one of the console I bought after the PS2, and it's a really good console. The only problem I think I can think of is the overheating problem, which one of my Xboxes did, the 360s did die on me, so I had to get a new one. But the one I currently have still works, so wireless controls, and of course Xbox Live, who could forget that. Sort of really pushed forward the whole console online gaming scene. Some really good exclusives back then anyway. In fact, one of the reasons why I bought an Xbox 360 was because of a Dead Rising, which was originally Xbox 360 exclusive, but then they ported it over, but still it had some other good games like Gears of War and Forza Motorsport. Also, another problem is I guess it was backwards compatibility with the original Xbox, but I don't think people cared too much about that. So yeah, really cool design and just overall solid console. One of my favourites. PS2 though I think is just better overall. Even though it didn't have online unless you had like a LAN adapter or something. And you had to use wired controllers unless you bought like a third party one. And on top of that you needed like multi-tap to play with 4 players. There were so many other things that were so positive that you kind of makes up for that. Like I think it's one of the first consoles to allow you to play DVDs. It's backwards compatible with pretty much every single PlayStation game, maybe with a handful of exceptions. Its design was simple, sleek, well, especially the slim version. Controllers were comfortable, some cool exclusives, you know, like Tekkens and Gran Turismos and Crashes and Spyros and such. And was just a very fun console, and you know, no huge bells and whistles like some consoles have now. Just pick up the console, put the game in your console and play. So yeah, it played a big part of my childhood and many others, and it's the reason why it's one of the most successful consoles and most highest selling consoles of all time. GameCube was a pretty cool console too. I haven't played a lot of the actual GameCube console, but there were some critical exclusives like Super Monkey Ball, Luigi's Mansion, Sunshine. I heard Eternal Darkness was pretty good, but I've never played that one. I think the one thing that appealed to me about the console was I think the main thing that appealed to me about the console was just its design. It looked like a lunchbox with the handle. You could connect 4 controllers straight to it without needing an adapter. The discs were these really small discs compared to the traditional CDs. It had quite a lot of character and some really cool games and some pretty good graphics as well for its time. Probably even better than PS2 in some areas, some cases. But really interesting console. Paper Mario, of course. Yeah, just very solid console overall. I think the only problem is wasn't compatible with any of the previous consoles, and some third-party games weren't quite as good on the GameCube as they are on the PS2. So, Switch. A Switch I bought a few months ago died on me. It was like new, so maybe there's some sort of problem with it. But the Switch I got now, it's a great console. Detachable controllers, you can play it docked or handheld, which is a really good selling point and makes it stand out from the other consoles. Some really good exclusives as well. Bummer that you have to pay for online now instead of like with previous consoles that it was free. But yeah, overall, very good console, and I'm glad I got one. This might be a bit controversial, but I'm putting this at C, not F for D. Because at least it doubles up as a Wii as well, and the gamepad was a bit big and clunky, but and also felt quite light. But it was at least an interesting concept. It just didn't. The execution was just kind of meh. The another problem was it had pretty bad third-party software support. There weren't really many third-party games made for it that wouldn't get that would. There are a handful of games that are still Wii U exclusive and haven't been ported to the Switch, but most of the good games on Wii U are now on Switch, so it kind of makes this console redundant. But the few games that are still available exclusively on Wii U aren't that bad. You're getting 2 consoles in one way. You got Wii U and a Wii, compatible with almost anything the Wii offered. It doesn't play DVDs though, which is a shame, or anything like that. I did like the Miiverse as well. That was cool, but they discontinued that. Didn't carry it over to Switch, which is a shame. I don't mind its actual console design though. It's just curved, more sleeker version of the Wii, without the stand and stuff. So. Shame it didn't really catch on really, this console, but still glad I actually still have one. Super Nintendo. Very strong console lineup. Some of the best games I've ever played have been on the SNES, like Super Mario World, Super Punch-Out, F-Zero, Link to the Past, Super Metroid. So many really good games on that system. I prefer its sound chip as well because it used sound fonts instead of FM synthesis, which made you use voices more easily, and more of an orchestral sound to it. We also used a cartridge, and controls were pretty comfortable. It had more buttons than the Genesis and Mega Drive. It also looked kind of nice, even though the light grey, there was no black version or anything like that. So yeah, pretty solid console as well. I'd say they're close to being kind of same level in terms of awesomeness, so really just one or the other really, and I think SNES just had the slight upper hand because it was released slightly after the Genesis Mega Drive, so they had better audio processing and audio chips and stuff. So yeah. And also quite a few of the ports on SNES were slightly better than the Mega Drive in terms of like graphical quality and sound design, so PlayStation goes up here, probably just behind the Xbox 360 though, because it's clearly a much more primitive console, so you couldn't really play DVDs. You could play CDs. Very nostalgic console, some really cool, reverb on the sounds, giving it sort of a archaic feel, which is cool. So a huge library of games, and yeah, it's just one of the first amazing CD-based console really, and 3D graphics, which aren't really good now, but still brings a nice sort of nostalgic burst for anyone playing it. So especially in 90s people. So yeah, very good console. Original Xbox is an A. It's certainly the sort of, out of the trio of the GameCube, PS2 and Xbox, the Xbox was the one that I think got most overlooked, even though it arguably had the best graphical processing power. I don't know off the top of my head if that's true, or it did feel that way sometimes, and some pretty good ports. This gave us Xbox Live as well, but I think they refined it next to 360. Yeah, I'll be honest, I haven't had as much experience with this console as I have with the GameCube or the PS2, so just tilt that a little bit here. Sorry, I'm just adjusting my mic so the mic's actually touching my, sort of facing me, because it's a little bit, it looks like it's flopping a little bit. But yeah, I also like its really simple sort of X-shaped design. I think that also helped. But yeah, I think it's the one I think a lot of people overlooked. Xbox One is A. Bit ahead of Xbox, but not as good as Xbox 360 because it didn't really feel like it innovated as much as 360 did. The big box design of the original Xbox models, One models are kind of meh. And but at least they did improve upon it with like the Xbox Series X and S and stuff, which I don't think is on this tier list for some reason, probably because it's a bit old. But yeah, problem is also backwards compatibility was very limited until like they added a few hundred of the more popular ones. You could play Blu-rays, at least it doubles up as a Blu-ray player. Controllers were pretty much the same. I don't think the D-pad was a little bit worse though, in my opinion. Xbox One was about Alive, was about the same, but it did introduce like Xbox Game Pass and stuff, so that's good. Very good console, just I don't know, just a couple of hiccups here and there, and also had a bit of a heating problem as well, which I think is the reason why my Xbox One died not too long ago. Get the newer models though, and you'll be fine. It's pretty cool. NES, better than the Master System, but not as good as Wii U. Why? Because you could play a lot of the older games on the Wii U or Switch and stuff. Kind of making original NES a bit redundant now, but also the box design is kind of bland, except for maybe the top loader or like the Japanese version Famicom. Very impressive range of games, like thousands of games. It feels like most of them are kind of meh, but there are some got gems in there like Super Mario Bros. 3, Legend of Zelda, Metroid, Ninja Gaiden, Contra, Castlevania, so many good games in there. I think it's just like a case of being a bit old and dated without like save states and that stuff, so but still a console we all still appreciate, right? Wii is an S tier for me. Yeah, sometimes the motion controls can feel a bit kind of gimmicky, but overall very fun console with a more family friendly focus. My nephew likes it, and sure I could put the Wii U there because technically Wii U is also Wii, But I think the problem is Wii U's GameCube doesn't support GameCube games, and I think the GameCube library is slightly better than. Well, I think the GameCube library is more important, like game preservation and that, and I don't know. I guess also because it doesn't have a stupid giant gamepad and a stylus, which feels a bit weird, and the Switch does better. The Wii just kind of like took that sort of motion control thing to a whole new level, really. Made it accessible for everyone, and has a huge, impressive roster of games, both first party and third party, which definitely helps. It's got an interesting design as well, with the dock and the standing upright, and not compatible with DVDs though, which is a shame, but the Wii channel menu interface was unique, like surfing through TV channels, some cool apps here and there, both first and third, some pretty strong homebrew support, and features. Also comes with multiple colours, so yeah, it pretty much has made a much more significant step from the GameCube than the Wii did for the Wii U. Because even though the Wii was HD, there weren't many games to really show that off, and whilst the Wii had an impressive library, which means it has a much longer lifespan and value, so I think that's why the Wii's better than Wii U. Also, the Wiimote is a very distinct and unique looking controller, which works as both motion controls and as like a sort of retro controller as well for like older games. Nintendo 64. I played only a little bit of it, so I may be biased because, you know, I've always been a PlayStation person more than a Nintendo 64 person. I'd say it's B. Some really cool games. I'll be honest, I don't love Super Mario 64 as much as everyone else. I do like how you can connect 4 controllers from a console right off the bat instead of having to get a peripheral to do that. Also, I'm not a fan of the controllers of the 64, the analog stick being in the middle, and there's a C stick, and you had to buy a rumble pack for vibrations, whilst the PlayStation had it right off the bat. Well, that's a lie actually. The original ones didn't even have analog sticks, but I mean, the Nintendo 64 already had like analog, but it's just the one, and it was awkwardly shaped and didn't feel as comfortable as PlayStation controls. And then a DualShock for PlayStation came out and then made like Nintendo 64's controls look pretty lame in comparison. But some pretty impressive first party games. Banjo-Kazooie as well, like third party games like Banjo-Kazooie, and first party games like Ocarina of Time. Cartridge, I think there's also a benefit as well that the game's loaded faster and, you know, less damage to, you know, from scratching discs and that, so. But I'll be honest, I'm more of a PlayStation guy, so I'm being pretty one-sided, I think. But I can't deny it's still a pretty good console. PS4 never had one. PS3 though, this was pretty tricky. I'd say it's A as well, somewhere around like the the Xbox One. Maybe I'm being biased yet again because I didn't really have a PS3 for very long. Well, I never had one. I've played a little bit of it actually. That's the lie. Sorry. What I meant to say was that I had played a bit with PS3, but not enough to really grasp on whether it's actually better than Xbox 360. I don't know if it had overheating problems in the past or any sort of issues like that. At least the online was free, I think. Wasn't it free for a bit? And the slim models are good. It also had some pretty cool exclusives, you know, Gran Turismo again, Resistance, I think, Infamous, is it Infamous? God of War, well, until some of the games got ported over to PC or something. But yeah, PS3 I think was a very strong contender against Xbox 360. I think the main problem was its price point originally, and its third-party games weren't much different for 360, sometimes even worse. Like, for example, Bayonetta I think was worse on PS3 than on Xbox 360, so I was tempted to put an S, but in my heart I know in my heart I know that I'd be lying to myself, because in my heart I think that Xbox 360 is slightly better than PS3 in doing most things. So yeah, that's pretty much it. No D's or F's, because I like most of these consoles. Even a Wii U I think was okay. just had some problems which prevent it from being the mega hit that Nintendo thought it was going to be. It's basically like HD 3DS, just with less games to play with and stuff. So just play, full stop. Right, that's pretty much it. I'm pretty tired and it is nearly midnight where I am. So I think I'm just going to go to bed. Been streamed for about 3.5 hours. A bit longer than last time, so that is about it. Thanks to those who watched the video after the stream. Check for my mistakes, or if I slip or something about, you know, saying something bad. I hope I didn't say anything bad. That'll be a real bottomer. I said that in a previous video, Young Ones quote. Good, funny show. Shame it only had 2 seasons, really. I'm pretty confident that the stream went okay. I've been looking at the video footage and it seems like it's been connection's been fine. I think the tweaks managed to, you know, help with that. There were very small tweaks as well, like tweaks just being like adjusting the bit rate and just activating some features that should have been activated in the first place, really. So and also my voice is getting a bit sore, I think, because I'm not used to talking to long periods of time like this. So I don't know when I'm going to do a stream next. Maybe sometime early next week. I might play a video game, most likely. This one was a little bit more taxing my throat because at least if you're playing a video game, you could give your voice a breather for like cutscenes or just to focus on gameplay. What game will I play? I don't know. I think I said in my previous stream, my Hearthstone stream, what I'll do is I'll play like either Rayman or Spyro. I'm leaning towards those two, or maybe even just like a meme game. I have one of mine that I would like to play, just for shits and giggles, really, nothing too serious. Alright, and yeah, I think I'm gonna call it a night and go to sleep, because I got work tomorrow, so yeah, goodbye.